and we are up. This is episode number 43 of the Our Town podcast, coming to you from North Alabama. And this is, December 29th, 2022. I'm actually going to sneak in one more episode tomorrow morning with my buddy Thad.
Oh, okay.
And he was episode 5.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to come back and
so you bring it full circle.
Kind of bring it full circle.
I like that.
And in the spirit of our guest today, let me switch over. We're going to do kind of a, I don't want to say kind of radio style where
Okay.
I've already interviewed him, and just as I interviewed you today, if I was to interview you again,
okay,
then it would be very different. Like
Sure.
I'll have already met you, kind of know your tendency.
we became best friends
We
already.
became best friends.
I get it. Yeah.
And I don't have to do some of that initial research that I would do.
Right.
So we're gonna, we're friends. We've known each other a long time. So
Yeah,
we're just gonna kind of kick it
sure.
around and kind of do more of like, if you were to watch the Mojo Radio Show,
Yes.
or Nash
Icon.
Icon.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make sense on what those things mean here in a second. But we're just gonna kind of spitball.
Let's do it.
And go for it.
Okay.
So Samantha Imker, Sam I Am.
Sam I am
is in the house.
I am.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm
Yeah?
very excited. Thank you so much for letting me be here and be a part of this journey. This is I follow you like on TikTok and
Do you?
all the things. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I follow you.
Well, it's good to know. I mean, like it's sometimes you just don't know.
You do. Yeah, I get that. I do that.
Do you feel like, because now you're in the radio business, you're an
am.
on-air personality for ZYP 104.3, and you also have the Nash
Icon.
Why do I keep?
I know it's
I
odd.
keep wanting to say like Nash Com or Nashville Con or
Yeah.
something. Nash Icon. I got
Nash
it.
Icon, yeah.
Nash Icon.
I'm on middays on Nash Icon, 93.3 Nash Icon, which is a country station, is 90s and today.
90s and today, not the 80s or 70s, huh?
Apparently not. No, just 90s and today.
I'll have to
So-
ask you later. Like, what's that? Is there a kind of a, let's say it's an early release in 1990 or a late release in 1989? Like what's
Does
that
it
criteria
make it?
for?
I don't know.
Let's say it's like the Alan Jackson comes out with like the number one song of all time, late
Okay.
89.
Right.
But because it's late 89,
I don't know if it makes the cut though. I
Can't-
mean, that's the thing, but it's Alan Jackson, so we're gonna play Alan Jackson,
Yeah.
I think, regardless. So it's fine.
classic country there.
Classic country. But
Yeah.
But I started that in August, this past August, and it's been a really awesome experience. A long time ago when I first when I joined the Mojo Radio Show on ZYP. One of the first things that Mojo asked me, which I've almost been on the morning show for a year. January 3rd will be a 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But one of the things that Mojo asked me, he was, what do you want from all this? And the first thing, I want my own show, and which is a big it's a big task, but I love to talk, and I love to be able to talk about current things and things that's happening locally, and things that, personally with me,
Yeah.
or what I'm doing, or what's my life outside of the studio. And sure enough, opportunity came, and I asked my boss, Steve Smith. He's the boss man. That's what I call him, Steve.
He's
boss
your
man.
program manager?
He's everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And he does so much out there. And I went to him. I was like, listen, this opportunity is here. I want to ask you, what would it take? What would I need to do? I would love to take over on middays. And he was like, I love it. I was like, done. So
Got
I
it.
got really excited about that.
So, and your studio's in Athens.
It is. Everything is, I think maybe Tori has told you, but like we have 5 stations in that building, and they're all separated, throughout the bottom part, the basement. And, but yeah, so Nash is like the corner one. It's really warm. So I have to keep the doors open, but there's that one. And then across the way is ZYP. So like in the mornings, I do the morning show with Mojo and Dee Dee. And then when I'm done with that, I'll move over to Nash and do the midday show on that. And then on Sundays, I also host the Sunday from 12 to 6, and it's called the Sunday Sass with Sam I Am.
Wow.
So that's my show.
And
So,
what station's that on?
That's on 104.3 ZYP.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this kind of goes back to, I want to come back to that, but just a little bit ago, we were talking about TikTok, you following me.
Oh, yeah.
Does it upset you at all when people are seemingly, kind of unaware Like you're doing this stuff, you kind of feel like, hey, everybody in Huntsville should be aware of ZYP or
Right.
Nash Icon or
Yeah.
the Sunday Show. Like, does it sometimes is it a little deflating when you like just now? Like I didn't have any idea. I feel bad.
Why? Don't. No.
But but how do you sometimes take that personally? Particularly if there's times where you feel like, man, you're like cranking out great shows.
Right. Right. I think for me, like my TikTok is my TikTok. Now my handle is Sam I Am on the radio.
Right.
Okay. But that's mine. And so sometimes I'll throw in some ZYP stuff or what Tori and I do some stuff together, and every once in a while I'll have my ZYP t-shirt on or whatever. But that's really more for me. You know what I mean? Like we have a ZYP TikTok and we have a Mojo Radio Show TikTok. And Tori and I kind of do some stuff on ZYP depending on like what's really hot right now, what's really going. And then I do Mojo Radio Show TikTok, but it's so hard when I've got 3 accounts and I love my TikTok because my content is nothing to do with radio really. It's just, so, I mean, I probably should be more like, hey, I'm on Nash and do all this, but I'm like, I don't know. Like I like to create content. I copy a lot of content. Let's just be, that's what the whole purpose of the format is. But I don't know. I like to make funny things. I'll either post like 3 videos a day and then not post anything for 2 weeks. I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So is that a cumulus decision in a way of kind of we're going with TikTok and none of the other social media platforms?
Not really, because TikTok is kind of like the lower part of it. Like, when we really got into it like last year to create this, Steve had already created a TikTok account when it first came out, and he did a couple things, but he has so much on his plate. Like, it's really can be time consuming, so to speak. But I mean, our formats are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's what we put out there. Like, that's what it's all about.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay. I've heard, I think, that's the Chinese on TikTok, right? There's all this concern from a cybersecurity standpoint, but I have heard from multiple sources and done research that they have the best algorithm. Like TikTok will by far get your content out to more accounts than others.
I don't like when I'm doing something or talking something with my family or my friends, and then like 2 seconds later I'm scrolling and then there it is. But everything has a speaker. Everything is listening, so I just kind of like, it's another thing. I know some people don't have it, and that's your personal preference, so to speak. But the thing is that, I don't know, it's just another way just to entertain ourselves, I guess.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Do you feel like, I feel like sometimes it's actually a good thing when there aren't as many comments or feedback? Because I think that can be hey, your show was great. I don't need to constantly remind you.
Right.
I may have been fanboy at the beginning and sent you all these kudos. But after a while, it's like if you're meeting the expectation or exceeding my expectations, and that's the way sometimes I look at the lack of feedback and comments I get. Like I see my numbers and they seem to be good. They seem to be people actually check out the show and then stick with it.
Yes.
Episode after, and I guess you guys look at stats all the time, right?
Yeah.
And ratings and such.
Nielsen ratings and stuff. We get those every once in a while. Like Steve will send them to us and like, hey, good job. We're doing this,
Right.
I kind of take it as like no news is good news. So if we're not like, if Steve's like, hey, we need to get these numbers up. We haven't had that yet. So we're always trying to strive to be the best, obviously. But yeah. But for me, like with TikTok, I just do it to put it out there so I can show my friends, like, oh my gosh, look, this is so hilarious. Check this out. I think I'm hilarious. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. I know I am. So that's all that matters to me.
I saw one, I think it was, I don't know if it was from yours or from Mojo's account. Okay. And it was the one where like, you're on the radio. It's kind of a split screen. You're on the mic and he's kind of walking by in the hallway. Yeah. And and the funny thing about TikTok, right, is you're speaking, but it's like a man's voice. Like how much would it, would it cost, or how much would it take for you to slap a friend or something like that?
Oh yeah.
and then he has this like startled look.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's not about the money.
It's not about the money. Yeah. So yeah, that's a one that I did, and which was funny. I was just in the studio. They were, I think, sometimes I'm in the studio by myself just for a few minutes, and I'm like, oh, this would be a great time to do a TikTok. because we should be doing something else. And so I just took that opportunity. I already had my headphones on and I did it. And so then he did a stitch with me. And so he thinks he's funny too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But stuff like that, like, that's the reason why, like, I do Dad Joke Fridays with Mojo. And so he's been gone, because he's been using his vacation time for the month of December.
Sure.
So like today on the air, I was like, all right, I need new material for the next month. He's coming back. I'm bombarding him.
Yeah.
It's happening. So I got some really good ones you texted in today. That was
did.
awesome. And so I got some good ones. They're horrible. And that's what I love about them because they're so corny and he hates them and I love it. So,
So a couple things for you. Number one, I've been here a year now. We were talking a little bit about that before we came on the air, and I've never moved to this is only like the third time in my life that I've moved to like an entirely different city. I spent 40 years in Virginia.
Oh wow!
So when it comes to like Washington D.C., like those radio stations, after 40 years,
right?
I country, alternative, rock, right, talk radio, Christian, like I know that. Since coming here, I don't know if it's because I started the podcast just shortly after I arrived, but like I've been listening to 103.9, The Ump, and 104.3 ZYP almost exclusively, and I haven't really had the time in a way because I've inundated myself with just my normal job and trying to get this off the ground where I'm realizing like I don't know a lot of the stations here, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter now. You're good.
It doesn't matter.
You got the ump and us. We're good.
So,
that's fine.
But part of that though is I also used to be a commuter
and
wake up really, really early, and so morning radio was always a part of my routine.
Daily drive.
And I mentioned this to Tori when I interviewed her. Episode 6 was that's always been a huge thing. Or even when it was Howard Stern, he was on DC 101. It was it was syndicated.
Right.
So we had Howard for a while, and then the Grease Man was another guy. And then there was the Sports Junkies. They're like these local guys that made it. They were just all buddies since they were like in first grade.
Yeah.
And they went on cable access, and the next thing you know, they get this show, and they've been on their air for like 25 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's like a sports station. So what's interesting about today is I normally don't get up that early, and I also don't have it in my routine like I used to like listen to morning radio.
Sure.
But I couldn't sleep. And I get up at like, I don't know, 5:15 and said, I'm just going to go into work.
Yeah.
And then your show was coming on.
Yes.
You were coming on the air about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we're on at 5 o'clock. We go from 5 to 10.
5 to 10. And I'm like, all right, I got to participate.
Yes.
Because I used to love like winning prizes from the different shows or doing the trivia. But then I tried to call in and to win tickets, I think.
Yes.
And that was like impossible.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. I mean, I have to say, like, with ZYP, we have, and I'm not saying this, just to blow smoke or anything, but
toot your horn.
Yeah, that too. But we have the best listeners. We have a very dedicated fan base, so to speak. I hate to use the word fan base, but we really do have a great listener basis because a lot of, when we are out making appearances and we're out, bikes or bus with, Mojo's Bikes or Bus, or, we're doing the 0.5K or anything.
0.5, I love it.
Oh yeah, that's fun. So, but when we do that, and people will come up to us and tell us, I've been listening to ZYP since I was a kid,
right? And
they have kids of their own now, so there's a huge loyalty base, to have, and that's something that I have seen myself. I mean, when I first moved here to North Alabama, first thing I did was I need to find a radio station.
Sure.
I need to find something that I can listen to driving, whatever, and I Googled it, of course, and I looked for current music, top 40, and there was ZYP. And so I was like, okay. And I've been listening. Well, I listen to it now anyway, but I've been listening to it since. And that's how you get that loyalty, that fan base. So when, people try to call in for, it's not because we're not answering the phones. It's just because they're all busy.
Let me ask you a question related to that.
Sure.
So I called, and I'm assuming you have to kind of like activate the phones.
Yes.
Like, hey, you're going to be caller number 7, but you literally have to do something in the context like rolling the phones over, like saying, okay, I'm going to have them come through.
Yeah.
So if I call too early, it's just going to go right to like kind of a hang up, maybe.
It depends. See, a lot of like today when I run the phones, we have our numbers, and I'm legit. You're calling number 1. You're calling number 2. You're calling number 3.
Got it.
And because I think there was, of course, the TikTok where she was like, we're taking caller number 59. And she's doing it live, like on her. She was like, you're caller number 2. You're caller number 10.
Wow.
Which is, that's taking a, peek behind the curtain and stuff.
So you see
I do it legit. So.
You can see my number come through, and then you just have to hang up until you get to 7.
Well, there's like their lines. So I don't they light up all at the same time.
Gotcha.
And I just go boop, 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 like that.
Got it.
So
and that doesn't
I'm
take
legit.
long. And it doesn't take long for you to get your winner.
No.
Yeah. I always take it like somewhat personal.
Never take it personal.
I'm like, they're just hanging up on me.
I know. I always answer. I'm like, and that's one thing I learned like with Dee Dee, when we're doing stuff, and if Mojo's not there, and she'll hit it. She'll go, ZYP, you're calling number 3. You're ZYP, you're calling. So we always answer.
Yeah.
But we have to hang up quick because we have to get going.
I'll tell you what, I want to ask a question now.
Sure.
I was going to save it for later when I do like the quick 6, but
Oh,
but
okay.
I want to ask you this question now.
Okay.
When you sounds like you were always a radio enthusiast.
Oh,
you
yeah.
had your shows. What was one of the best? I'm assuming you've won a prize.
Okay. Yes.
Talk me through an experience of when you won a prize, and what was the circumstance, the game you had to play, or what to win it?
My mother's going to kill me. Okay. So I was living in Michigan, and it was open house party.
Stockbridge, Michigan.
Stockbridge, Michigan. Yes.
Okay.
It's not a city. It's a village.
Okay.
True story. And, but I remember I got, they were looking for the first, open house party is syndicated. And at that time, I'm in high school,
Okay.
and so I got through, and it started ringing. And of course my heart's pounding, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to win. Well, they were taking their first 50 callers, but I got in because it's such a huge syndicated show. And I remember they answered, they're at open house party. Who's this? And I'm like, I'm Samantha, and they're like, Samantha, where are you from? And I was like, Stockbridge, Michigan. Oh, you won our prize pack. Congratulations. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And they asked me what song I wanted to hear. Huge NSYNC fan. So, of course, I put out there that I wanted to hear, I want, oh my gosh, I just blanked. Good Lord. Tearing Up My Heart, NSYNC, which is on their first album or whatever. And I was so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to listen back and hear myself on the radio because, that's what we're all about. And I didn't, but they were like, stay on the line. I'm going to get some info from you. So, I stayed on the line. Still, my heart's all pounding, because I never won anything on the radio before.
Yeah.
Well, let's fast forward to about 3 weeks, and my prize pack came in, and I got a red book bag, and inside of it had open house party stuff from the radio station, more open house partying. And there was also a box of, what's the proper way of just saying this?
Contraceptive?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. I'm 16 years old. My mom, how did you win this? And I listen, I'm sorry, Mom.
What station is this?
I don't know. I can't remember. I think I just panicked and I lied. I'm sorry, Mom. I did because I was like, I don't know how I won that. And I panicked because growing up in a very, in a Christian home, we really weren't listening to secular music and stuff and so if they knew I was listening to Open House Party, aka NSYNC,
Yeah.
and I won a box of things,
Yeah.
I was gonna get it. So I did. I straight up lied, and I'm sorry, Mom. So, but yeah, I just
Now,
so yeah.
And what else was in the box besides those things?
just
stuff, stickers,
stickers, and pencils,
frisbee.
A lot of stuff that was by the company of the box of stuff, and so pencils and stickers, and I'm like,
Swag.
why? And so anyway, I kept the book bag though. That was a nice book bag. I kept that. Yeah, I did keep that. But I didn't, it didn't have any logos or anything on it, thank the Lord. But that was honestly the probably first and last time I ever entered a contest because I was terrified, I think.
So you didn't win anything after that?
Wow. No, I was scared too. And then I did try to call when I was taking my son, because I did car line, before having, my business and all that stuff. I would take him to car line every morning. And so Logan and I, that's my son's, name is Logan. We would always listen to the Mojo Radio Show in the morning because it was talk, and we'd always get in there for the Mojo Morning Mind Bender or something later on, because we would get out early in the morning. And so, of course, I would try to call in feeling like you.
Yeah.
Where I can't ever get through, And so now on the other side of that wall, now I know why.
Yeah.
But yeah.
the first thing I won, I had this room, my bedroom, and I guess it was big enough, and I was actually able to put like a weight bench in there.
Oh,
now these aren't like Olympic weights; these are just like the I don't know, if I showed you a picture, you'd be like, oh yeah, who else didn't have kind of like a starter?
I got it.
Starter thing, right? And they're like the sand weights.
Oh,
they go in the bar is not Olympic.
Were they silver, like the silver sand? Yeah. My dad had those. Okay, yeah.
And I think they even had like maroon and stuff as other colors. But
Yeah.
like, and then the bar was probably 20 pounds versus a typical 45-pound bar. And when I'm like lifting weights, and Michael Jackson had just come out with a new song. I can't remember which one it was. This was like late 80s. So this is after Thriller, whatever the next album was.
Jeez.
And anyway, they were like giving away tickets. Now it wasn't to like it's concert, but it was like when you hear Michael Jackson's new song within the next hour, right? One of those things. Be caller whatever 7, and you'll win tickets to your choice of like things. Okay. And so I get through. I can't believe it. I win. Oh no way! And they're like, "Do you want?" And I don't remember. I remember one was Cheap Trick. Oh, okay. And it was like Cheap Trick. Maybe the who is it? The Wilson. What was the sisters?
In the Wilsons? No,
the Wilson something, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh,
the Wilson sisters.
I feel so bad. No, I don't think that's right. It's Will. I don't know.
Well, anyway, it was like the guy's like, "Okay, Troy from Herndon, you get the following 4 choices." Okay. And I'm like, first one, like, like Debbie Gibson. Next one, Cheap Trick. And then the next 2, and I'm like, I don't really want any of them.
Oh no, Troy.
But I took the Cheap Trick tickets because it was at the amusement park.
Oh, so you hit 2 birds, 1 stone kind of type thing.
And then I didn't even go. I gave it to my sister, and she took her roommate.
Well, that was nice of you. At least you were honest about it. Like, I don't want none of those.
I mean, part of the problem was I was 12, and I wasn't going to get myself to the amusement park.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So then when you get 2 tickets, I'm like, well, who am I going to go with? I'm not going to go with my mom.
Yeah, yes, you will. You get that Debbie Gibson one, you're going with your mom.
Oh man, I just remember like I won something. I was like, it was so hard.
Was your heart like pounding? Like, oh my gosh, it's like palpitations. Yeah. Like I get it. I know, I get it.
You just can't believe they actually took your call.
Right. Well, it's so funny because like even at the, when I first started at ZYP, we had my first staff meeting, and I wasn't on the air. I was just, I was originally hired in as a part-time board op, which means like when you hear like Tori or Steve or Mojo on remote somewhere, you have someone back in the studio pressing all the buttons, making it happen. Yeah. And so that's what I was originally hired in for. And I remember my first, all staff meeting and sitting there and, I had known, Steve and I are buds. Love Steve. Good dude. And very good boss. And so I basically piled around with him, like, doing ice cream team and things like that. And of course, Tori, who doesn't love Tori? I just adore her. And but I remember going into this meeting and thinking, oh my gosh, like I can hear like Mojo and Dee Dee's voices. Oh my gosh, like, oh my God, is that Dale Jackson? Oh my, I was that, not fangirl, but I'm like, these are significant, on-air personalities that I work with, but at the same time, like, and I know they're going to probably say it now. So yeah, I kind of did fangirl, but it was just a really awesome experience to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm sitting in a room with some really powerful voices. Yeah. So,
well, you compound that with when you first came to Huntsville and you found ZYP just as a listener, and then you fast forward all these, and so that's part of like, I can't believe it's not just them, but I can't believe this is me. Yeah, that like, I'm doing this as a job now. Yeah, right?
And that's the thing is just I was very very lucky and blessed to be able to. I remember I was sitting in my home. And at the time, I had a photography business that I was running, and it was doing very well. It was just, I wanted to feel like I contributed to our household. Now don't get me wrong, like I was a stay-at-home mom, and that's a full-time job. But my kid was in school full-time, and my husband's full-time, and taking care of a home and making sure everything is running. That is a full-time job, and I guess it's just the way I kind of like was brought up, so to speak. Everyone pitches in, and so I just felt like I was missing something. So that's the reason why I started the business. And I was just sitting in my room in our room. I don't know why I say that, but I was sitting in our room and I was just kind of scrolling on Facebook, and I follow, of course, ZYP.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there was a post that was up at the top of their page, and it says, are you interested in being, part of ZYP? We're looking for a part-time board op. I didn't even second guess myself. I immediately clicked the link, applied online, sent an email with some old commercials that I had done back in the day.
Your portfolio.
Yeah, well, very limited portfolio, but I sent it to Steve, followed up with him, and then got the call on March 5th to come in for an interview, and the rest is history.
Wow.
So yeah.
And now, I don't want to lose sight of that, but okay, when you talked about pitching in Michigan,
Yeah.
was those were part-time jobs, and
So what you mean,
by a certain age you needed to be kind of working?
No, so
Or was it more like chores around the house?
well, I think for me it's okay, so I guess kind of going off of that, my mom and dad worked full-time jobs.
Right.
And our jobs were to, of course, do chores and, help out with, dishes and after dinner, And then my father, they originally thought he was diagnosed with macular degeneration. Mm-hmm. And turns out so many years later, it's not. Please don't ask me to pronounce it because there's no way I can. I think about 1% of the people in the world have this. It's a mutation of like DNA kind of type thing. Anyway, so he's completely blind. So he had to quit his job. And so my mom was full-time, she was working full-time already, but she became sole breadwinner, so to speak. And so I think that everyone kind of had to step up. My sister and I step up a little bit more, not like to work. I mean, they weren't nothing like that, but there was extra stuff that needed to be done that maybe my dad couldn't do. So
you had said, I guess when people are legally blind, they can still see some. I guess there's different degrees of that, but he can't see anything.
Yeah. So when they first diagnosed him, because he lost his direct vision, in macular degeneration, your direct vision is the first thing to go, and you still have peripheral, and so that's the reason why they thought that that's what he had, because his direct vision was starting to basically gone. Yeah, but he could still see peripherally, and so over time, it was his peripheral that was starting to go. And then that's when they thought they had retinitis pigmentosa, which is the detaching of retinas. And so that wasn't it. So now he is completely blind.
Was he still able to drive?
No. As soon as he had to quit his job, he had to turn in his driver's license.
Okay.
And that was a very, I don't want to say dark time, but it was 3 days of mourning, which I can't even imagine, you know. And so...
he was probably only in his 30s at the time.
My dad was, I think, 32.
Wow.
And so he's in his. Well, I'm not going to tell him his age.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah,
your mom's already mad at you anyway. So.
I know. Why not make my dad mad? But yeah. So I guess to go through those, there were some lean times.
Sure.
And so yeah. So I mean, it became. I had a great childhood. Don't get me wrong. That was nothing like that. I have two very loving parents and who are, still a part of my life, my kids' life, that kind of thing. So, but it's definitely different having a parent who is visually impaired. But I will tell you this, whenever he asked me to drive him anywhere, yes, sir. Yeah. Not a problem. Because, he doesn't want to have to ask. I know that. But so, yeah, if I can see, if I can do, I'm doing it, that kind of thing. So daddy's girl, just want to throw that out there. So yeah. Yeah. 100%.
And they live in Georgia?
They live in Georgia. They live in Dalton, Georgia. My sister and her husband and her 6 kids. Okay. They live in Lafayette, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes from Dalton. So.
And is that near Peachtree City?
So no, Peachtree City is about 30 minutes south.
Oh, that's right. That's southwest of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are my in-laws. They live in Peachtree City.
Okay, that solves that puzzle for me.
Yeah, there you go.
I've actually been to Peachtree City a long time ago. This is actually like an epic trip when you think about your childhood. Yeah. I lived in Utah at the time. My older siblings and I fly out to visit my grandparents in Virginia. Okay. We spent, 2 or 3 weeks with them. And then we drove down to my grandma's sister's house
Okay.
in Peachtree City.
No way.
And
All right.
I had, so I'm like, I'm like 6 years old, and I had just been to like the driving range for the first time in my life.
Okay.
And I don't remember much other than like I hit this one shot that was just pure, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably went 100 yards, if that, but it was just so like I'll never forget that feeling of, that felt really good, and I can't wait to play again.
Right.
And then
It was a core memory,
yeah.
basically.
Well, and that should happen to if you've ever hit a baseball, like
Absolutely.
right on this,
Sure.
right in the sweet spot type thing. So anyway, we go down to Peachtree City. At the time, the Dukes of Hazzard was so popular. You know, McDonald's, every Happy Meal we would get, like there was like some sort of toy car. And actually, I think the box, like the box that your burger and fries came in,
Okay.
was either like the General Lee or like
Like
Roscoe's.
a race car, like the.
It was just a cardboard
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
you know. And then I remember when we went to visit my I guess it's my great aunt. We actually like we like set sail to those on the lake she lived on. But Peachtree City was awesome because there's like 5 or 6 golf courses, and everybody travels by golf cart.
Yes, they do.
Even to the store.
Oh yeah. When we go every July 4th. That's kind of like our tradition.
Yeah.
My husband and I, when we were dating, we started that tradition. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And my son is very excited because in 2 years, he'll be able to drive a golf cart with an
Yeah.
adult. So we have a countdown going on for that. So, but yeah, everybody, my in-laws have one. My sister-in-law has one. So yeah, that's how you go to the
Yeah.
store. I mean, it's just...
I just remember coming back and like telling my friends, like, you don't understand. Like, not only is golf a cool game, but there's places you can live where you don't even need a car. No. And then it's like the first time I had seen like a 4-passenger or 6-passenger golf
the
cart.
limos. That's what we call them, the limos.
And they're
yeah.
like driving to wherever. Probably they drive the kids to school. Like the whole town, right, is in on this.
Oh yeah, well, the parade, their July 4th parade is, they'll have some vehicles and stuff, but a lot of people decorate their golf carts to be in the parade every year. So yeah.
Wow. That's really cool.
Now I want to go and get in the golf cart. Thanks, Tori. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to go back because it's been
it's
way
great.
too long, and I'm sure since it's been almost 40 years, I'm sure it's very different.
It's definitely a lot of people are moving there because it's really a great place to live and stuff, and their population is just exploded.
People commute into Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people retire there too.
You got a mixed bag.
Yeah, you do.
Huh. Wow. There's so much. Let's go back to Stockbridge though.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm gonna pull up the one thing I did find.
See, I feel really good that you can only really find one thing.
Look, you're what, 42 ish.
Sir, do not make me older than what I am. I am 41 and a half.
41 and a half.
I was born in the 1900s.
Okay.
So, yes.
So was I.
Okay.
I was taking a guess based on when you graduated.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
All right.
I can remember which screen this is on. Okay, here you are in the band.
Oh my gosh.
This is your yearbook. But
Where
I don't
did you find that?
online.
No way.
There you are, Samantha Davenport.
Yes.
But I don't know where you are in the picture.
Oh my gosh. I do not.
Do you have any idea?
No, I do. I'm looking. It's been a hot minute.
You may not have been. Sometimes it's funny because normally they'll do like first row. Now they're just doing alphabetical.
Well, I know I'm still friends with some of these. So let's see. I'm looking. Oh, I see me.
I don't know where you are.
Okay, so if you look at the guy at the very top, like the really tall
real
one,
tall guy,
look
yeah.
straight down, right there.
There you are.
That's me.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
All right, so here's what you really look like.
I totally forgot.
This is your
What year is this?
1990. Well, this is your senior year, I think.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Nope, this is. Let's see. That's freshman.
Hold on.
That's 2002.
No. Just stay. I should have.
No, you're good.
I should have set this up better.
It's like a walk in memory lane right now.
I know. Hold on, we're getting there. Because there's someone famous name, but not the famous person that was in your graduating class.
Okay.
You probably know who it is. Hold on, we're almost there.
Oh my God,
We
I've
are
seen
almost
some of these
to. There you
faces
are.
in like 20.
There you are. This is your senior year,
God, look,
right?
that hair, though. Yes, that is me. Oh my gosh.
So, what were like 100 or so in your graduating class? Like trying to look
I
at the
think
size.
it's like
of your school.
140, 120 to 140.
So I'm like, okay, here we have found Samantha Davenport. That's cool. You know, like, is there any celebrities in the mix? No. You know, I've never heard of Brandon Desbro.
Right.
But we get down to one, where is she? Tanya Harding.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I started to.
I remember, yes. Yeah, I mean, I really wasn't friends with her. She was part of the popular crowd, I guess you could say. But yeah, I remember when they first announced her name when I moved from North Carolina to Michigan, and I was part of this graduating class. And when I went to high school and I heard Tanya Harding, I'm like Tanya Harding? Harding goes here? And they're like, same name, different girl, you know? So yeah. Oh my God.
Well, what's interesting is
hilarious.
I should have known that there's no way this was her.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I think the spelling of Tanya might be different with the real Tanya Harding.
Well, also too, this Tanya Harding is a little bit younger than the original Tanya.
Well, that's
Harding.
what I'm saying. So I should have known that.
That's okay.
But I still didn't trust
name.
myself.
I know.
Because then
See,
you're
I
like,
get it.
wait a minute, enough time has gone by. What Olympics was that?
Right.
And I go back. She was born in 1970.
Yeah, trust me, I was right there with you. So it's fine. It's fine. Oh my gosh. And what's so funny is that I'm still like friends with like some of those people that are just, oh man, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I have not seen that. I had forgot about that picture. That's
but you
crazy.
got kind of a raw deal here with
I did.
the way your face.
I know. It's sad. But it's actually not a bad thing. So it only took one.
Now, do you have a sister?
I do.
Is it Jessica?
Yes.
Okay, she's in here somewhere.
Yeah, we were in the same, because we're 2.5 years apart. So yeah, my sister.
But it's not her episodes. I'm not going to bring her
That's
up.
okay. No, I love my sister. I didn't like her when we were like that weird, awkward time. We were like best friends growing up. And then the awkward time. And then now we both have kids and we have, husbands and, that kind of thing. So
And she has 6 kids, you said.
She does.
Yeah.
She made up for my slack.
Okay.
So.
Well, I had shown the marching band picture. And at some point you were awarded the John Philip Sousa Award.
I was, my senior year.
Which only your music teacher instructor can nominate you for,
Yes.
right? Like parents and or student can't nominate yourself.
Right.
But I couldn't, in their database, I tried.
I've got the award, Tori. If
I know you
need
have the
proof.
award.
I need the proof.
They need to update their database.
That was back in 1999.
So for those who are not familiar with the John Philip Sousa Award, describe kind of who he is from what you remember and how were you just head and shoulders above everybody, and this was kind of like once in a generational thing that they award this to Samantha?
I think that so John. Well, I'm gonna say John Sousa Award is I didn't realize how high of an honor it was. I've been in music my entire life, but I started playing the clarinet when I was in 6th grade in North Carolina. And the only reason why I got the clarinet was because it was my Uncle Charles' daughter, my cousin's clarinet.
Right.
And I wanted to play band, and this was the only thing available to me. But little did I know, I wouldn't say I was like, a prodigy or anything, nothing like that. But I was able to quickly read music and just was able to do it. And so I just kind of kept on. But it was given our senior year. I know that the instructor does pick someone, but the whole band had to vote on it.
Oh, wow.
So it was nice to know,
So you're like the MVP in a way.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
If
but
your peers are voting on it.
I still play it. So if that gives you anything, I still have my clarinet. I still play it every once in a while. But that was a very interesting. It was very interesting because my sophomore year of high school, I couldn't play it for a year.
Oh.
I had to move over to percussion because that summer between 9th and 10th grade, I actually got Bell's palsy.
Oh, yeah.
At a very young age. And
Your face.
paralyzed. Yeah. So I didn't have an embouchure to hold a clarinet. I wanted to quit. I was like, I'm not playing this. Da-da-da-da. And my mom was like, listen, you've got all this time. You've been playing since you're in 6th grade. This is going to pass after a while. You'll regret it if you do. Also, too, band, this is what she would say, band, ma'am, is going to be the only way you're going to get graduation chords.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Because let's just say I did not have the best grades, in high school and stuff. So, but anyway, so I'm glad I did. I really am. I'm glad that they made me, continue on and to be a part of it. I have some of my best memories for,
Sure.
band, so to speak.
Is it only given to seniors?
Only seniors, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the Bell's palsy.
Yes.
Is that in any way genetic?
No.
Is there any treatment for it? My understanding is it just comes and then you have to wait for it to subside.
Basically, they gave me like steroids, which was perfect for a teenage girl for,
Start
during
lifting.
during, going the growing up part, eating all the time. So it was perfect. Thanks. But I have about 90% recovered.
Okay.
Every once in a while, like I want to say a tick, but like I have a weaker eye. And like
what side of your face?
It's my left side.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like if I'm like watching, like if I'm just sitting there looking at you and I blink, I get like a little tick,
Really?
But yeah, you can tell like when I try to like, I usually like raise my eyebrow, which looks like I'm always like, cocky or whatever, which I am, but that's besides the point. But it helps raise my eye. And when I'm tired, it will weaken.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've got some cats that they'll like just kind of look at you.
Yeah.
And it's like they wink or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's got to be some sort of tick.
Yeah. Well, fortunately it's not genetic, thank God.
Well, let me.
But yeah.
And going back to your dad, I know
Yeah.
it's not macular degeneration. He got different diagnosis, but
Yeah.
is that in any way something that is genetic and it just lay dormant? I know you said less than 1% of the people get it.
He has
It's extremely rare.
Yeah, I really wish. I thought about getting that name. It has more consonants than anything.
Sure.
It's a very long name. But from my understanding, I'm past the age
Yeah.
that
when he
got it. So I go and have my eyes checked every year. My son, because my uncle, my dad's brother, he was also blind, but his was a completely different, I guess you could say, diagnoses, whatever. And but I take my son every year, even though like they're like, oh, you don't have to bring him back for 2 years. I'm like, nope.
Every year.
So yeah, just to make sure.
Let's. I think your dad wrote a book.
He did.
All
right. My God, Troy, I'm so impressed right now. But he did.
This is a children's book.
Yes.
Bunnyberg.
The
Newcomers by Eddie Davenport.
Yes, he did.
It's a little bit fuzzy because I had to.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
The resolution I can't see. It's actually illustrated by. I'm losing my eyesight now that I'm 47.
Yeah.
Things are like. I actually had my readers on top of my hat.
Then you couldn't find your readers.
And then I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I found them because
That's all right.
I think it would have been a little bit.
So I'm going to tell you what I would tell Mojo. Oh, you're so pretty. That's what I tell him.
So tell me about Bunnyberg.
So yeah, my dad wrote a book, and basically he wanted it to be a children's book for where you get when you meet someone who's not like you.
Yeah.
And into a community to make them, you got that one who wants to make you feel welcome and the rest of the community doesn't. So he wanted to make a book like that where accepting of others, no matter what they look like, that they can be a part of that too. So yeah, Bunnyberg, yeah.
And did it do well?
He sold some.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago.
After his being blind?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he was when he had to turn in his driver's license, when he had to quit, that was back in 1991, I think. And he wrote Bunnyberg about 7-8 years ago. Has it been that long?
Oh, that's it.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, but he wrote it, and then he had someone that he knew help illustrate it. So he came up with the idea, and then they kind of went off of that. So he could see a tiny bit then. That way he could give him an idea. But yeah.
Well, I just was thinking it's one thing to learn Braille.
Yes.
It's another where, like, let's say you did learn how to type, and even if you go blind, you can still type.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He did everything with my mom.
With your mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom is pretty very amazing woman. She is, she's my dad's driver, Now my dad can fend for himself. Like, he has a cane, and so they have like a 2-bedroom, home, and, he'll do stuff in the stove. Like on the stove, he has like these little felt buttons kind of type thing, like on the air fryer and the stove. So he can in the microwave. So he knows what he needs to do, and they have certain things that are set up for my dad like that. So he dresses himself. He does his own hair. He's, like I said, he's been doing this for, good Lord, 30 years. So
So while we're on the topic of like children's books,
Sure.
I think of Sam I Am, Green Eggs and Ham.
Yes.
So the Sam I Am, that's your moniker,
It is my moniker.
right? Where did that come from?
So I play pool.
Yes.
And when I first moved to North Alabama, or here, Madison, Huntsville area, I had played pool in Chattanooga, and I've always gone by, when I moved down south or moved from the south to Michigan. Growing up, I didn't like Sam. Don't call me Sam. Don't call me Sammy. My name is Samantha. And then as soon as I moved to Michigan, everybody shortened my name, and I wanted to fit in. I'm not going to cause a scene. So everybody called me Sam. And then I moved down to Georgia and started playing pool in Chattanooga. And when I moved to North Alabama, I joined a team, and I introduced myself as Sam. And the guy on the team, his name is Cliff, still friends with him. He and his wife, I think now, but he was like, I'm going to call you Sam I Am. I was like, okay, well, that's cool, whatever. And then I was on that team for about a year, and then I got, I was engaged to Warren at the time. So we had gotten married, and then I played a little bit of pool, and then, Logan came along. And so I took some time off, obviously, to have him and be home for a few months. And then I joined a pool team on the south side of Huntsville. The team captain's name was Deborah McClure. Now, Deborah McClure was one of my closest friends, and she passed away last year, breast cancer. And but she kind of brought that moniker back. So
She did.
Yes. So it's been Sam I Am, and everybody in pool world knows it's Sam I Am. So nobody really like, oh, do you know Samantha? And they'll go, who, Sam I Am? And so that's kind of, and I wanted to carry that over with radio and that kind of thing. So.
Look at this. I'm going to really impress you.
Okay.
That's her.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Deborah what? So that was my nickname for her, the lady in the picture. Her name is Deborah McClure, and I called her Deborah what? Oh my gosh.
Deborah what?
Yes. Okay. So there's a quick story about that. I had joined Ladies League. It used to be Shooters, which is Good Times now, right there on University.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was on playing, and this amazing woman walks in, and so I was like, oh my gosh, who is she? I need to know her. And because she was the embodiment, like people flocked to her, and there was just something about her aura, spirit, whatever.
Magnetic.
Yes. She was just amazing. And I remember she was standing over me, and somebody introduced me, and Sam, because I didn't have the, Sam I Am quite yet. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, nice to meet you. And I'm just standing there, and I'm sitting there, I'm keeping score or something. And there was somebody went, Deborah. She was like, what? And I went, Deborah, what? And then she if she were still here today, she would tell you that's when I knew that you were my Sam I Am.
Deborah what?
Deborah what? So yes, this is pool team. This is Snafu. So, and then that's our team picture from Vegas. So.
Man, okay, so we're gonna enter a whole nother domain here. If you're ready, I'm gonna start talking about pool.
Let's do it.
But So you won the John Philip Sousa Award for being the
did.
best musician. Are you the MVP of this team?
Oh no. So I call him my brother. That's the guy on the to
your right
side of me, the tall one.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I'm in between the two tallest people on the team, but I'm the shortest one. And but his name is Joe, and I call him Joa. That's okay. And I use like my big brother, my pool brother. And so, but he's top notch. He's really good.
That's awesome.
I can't let him ever watch this video because it'll go straight to his head. So yeah, but yeah, that's Joe. He's super good.
Okay, when did you first know you were really good at pool?
Ooh, it took some time. I mean, because I didn't even know how to hold a pool stick when I first started in Chattanooga.
This as an adult.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I started playing pool in 2006, and I was working at a company, and that's where I met he's my son's godfather. His name is Michael. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I had just moved here. I had just moved from Michigan to Georgia, and I started at this company, and I was told, I was like, hey, what does anybody do for fun around here? And I got in contact with Michael through a friend, and he was like, I play pool. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. He was like, yeah, I'm on a league. I play on Wednesday nights. You should come out sometime. It took me 2 Wednesdays before I was like, I got to play.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of went from there, and, kind of growing under different captains. So.
here's kind of here's the next question. So you start playing.
Yeah.
When did you kind of go next level? Where it's like, okay, this isn't just about having fun anymore.
Competition.
This is about competition. It's about getting better. So that's the way I am with golf.
Yeah.
I have no tolerance for people who just want to go drink beer on a golf course.
Right.
No, I'm there to do better, to play better.
Right.
And some people don't like that. That's fine, because it's like one of the things I really excel at.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, there's no tomfoolery
right.
when it comes to like trying to get better. But
yeah.
Describe for me, was there kind of a moment or a period of time where like, okay, I'm actually really good at this, and you started to maybe have a little bit different swagger and a presence about you?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, pool is really, it is a team sport. Mm-hmm. There's an 8-man team. Sure. And it really, every little bit helps, so to speak. But I remember I was on a ladies' league team. This is right before I found out I was pregnant with Logan. And we made it to compete in the finals. And I didn't lose a match all day. And I was like, yeah, this is something. Mm-hmm. This is, I felt at that time I hit next level.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until 2018, I won the regional board for North Alabama for my skill level.
Good for you.
And I got to compete and fly to Vegas to compete. And I've kind of settled out, I feel like, since then, because, you have to practice. You can't just go to league and play, which is, working now, with my hours and stuff, is so hard to find that extra time. Yeah. And I still love the game, but my full focus for a long time was, besides my family and, my husband and my son.
Say all the right answers.
I know, right? But pool was it was an outlet and a focus for me. Yeah. It was mine. And so when I started working, and now like being on the morning show and having my own show, my focus is, my passion has changed. Yeah. This is still a fun hobby, and I love it, and I love the people that I'm on a team with. Yeah. And I would love to go to Vegas with them to compete and be my best, but there has been a shift, and in a good way. Right. But
let's go go back to when you're like, you don't lose, right? You win your first tournament. I'm assuming the clothes you wear may change, your equipment, you get a new stick. Like, and I'm gonna bring back. There's a reason I'm bringing this up.
Okay.
But really talk me through how you kind of went even next level, just in
my equipment,
in your equipment, and even on the exterior, what people saw, and like it's almost like you sometimes you're going to wear a different type of shirt, or like you're like, okay, I am now a card carrying member. Right. I'm a really good pool player, and I want people to like be able to like know that without a doubt. Yeah.
I'm probably still trying to get to that level if I really want to think about it. I mean, when my very first pool cue is what I took to my very first time in Vegas with Snafu back in 2013. Okay. And then when we made it there, I was like, okay, it's time for me to upgrade. So I bought a new stick. I've had 3 brand new sticks since then.
How many ounces?
Okay, so I used to shoot with a 21. Yep. But now I've got a new one. I got a, oh my gosh, what is it?
18?
McDermott? Oh, no. It's even lighter than that.
Okay.
It's almost like the graphite kind of type.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's not as expensive as my brother's, because he has to have the best of everything, but that's besides.
But
he deserves it. No.
You can't beat your brother.
No. So we actually had to compete against each other in a sudden death match. Probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and he's a 9, which is the highest in 9-ball. And at the time, I was a 5, so I have to get 38 before he has to get 75, which you would think that's a lot, but not when you're playing someone his caliber. Again, I'm never showing him this video, but anyway. So, but sudden death means in 9-ball, each ball is a point. Mm-hmm. In sudden death, everything doubles. So now there's 20 points a rack instead of just 10. And the very first rack, he got a break and run, which means he cleared off the whole table. Boom, 20 points. However, I did give him a run for his money. So I got it's called a 9 on the snap. You break your rack and the 9-ball goes in. It's an automatic win for that one round. And so because I'm petty, I made him sign it. That we get a patch, I made him sign it and took a picture with it. So.
Yeah. That's so cool. 9-ball is legit. You've got
Oh, I
to be a
love nine
really, really good player to play
Yeah.
nine ball.
It's all about ball control and making sure where it's going to go
Sure.
for your next shot.
Think-
So sometimes I just go up there. I have a teammate. Her name is Lex. And I love her. We get along really great. And I quote her quite a bit when she was like, when in doubt, bust it out. So that's
Yeah.
what we do.
So the other day, so your son goes to elementary school across
Yes.
the street from where I live.
Yeah.
And I run the Bradford Creek Trail
Oh, okay.
a lot. And there's something that just happened this week that reminded me of like kind of when I was younger and I wanted to start taking golf seriously. And I kind of got my first official set of clubs and my whole world changed. My whole approach changed. I've seen it with my older kids, like in wrestling. They're really kind of timid until my oldest in particular, until he came like his junior year.
Right.
And then like something just clicked and
Yeah.
you realize, hey, I belong here. And you can just tell the way he like would warm up for a match. Like there was confidence.
Yeah.
So there's this kid, you know, if you get out on the trail, no matter what you're thinking, if you're a cycler or you're a runner or a walker, certain times a day, you're kind of passing some large percentage of the same people that are out
Right.
as on their daily routine, right? And then there's a couple newbies or people you'll never see again. But there's this kid that like has riding a mountain bike, and the more I thought about it, the more I'm thinking, well, that's not really his bike. It was probably his dad's or his older brother's.
Right.
It's too big for him. That he is cranking on this bike,
Okay.
right? And he's got some helmet thing. It's just a basic helmet, and this was literally from like February through recently. I see this kid like a lot.
Yeah.
And then especially in the heat of the summer, he's out there like this guy, and he's riding it as if he's like a road cycler,
Right.
More, you know, he's obviously on the pavement, and he's not necessarily doing mountain biking, but
Right.
that's what he's got. So, and he would wave, very nice kid. He always waved to me, and you know, I'm running, he's doing his bike, and I'll usually do like a 4 or 5 mile route. And in that, he'll kind of lap around because I think what he does is go Bradford Creek Trail to Mill Road to County Line,
Wow,
comes
okay.
back around, right? So I'll see him a couple times, maybe 3 times. Well, this week, or maybe it was last week, I can't remember. I'm running and this bike just flies past me,
What?
and it's a road bike, and there's like a different, like he's got like a racing helmet,
Oh.
and I could tell by his body shape, you can just tell like that's a younger person.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back, and I'm like, that's the kid.
Wow.
So for Christmas,
He must have gotten the equipment.
he's thinking same thing with your son, right? Anytime someone's like, hey, I want to do this, you're like, yeah, are you going to stick with it?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he had been begging his parents, like, are you really into this biking thing?
Right.
Well, now he has like a proper road bike. He has like this aerodynamic helmet, and the kid is flying.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, and it was like, and then his gear was different. Like he had like the spandex, and
Right.
you know, next thing I know,
He
he's
was
prob-
legit.
He's probably gonna have like his zipper down, you know, like they always do when they're trying to get extra ventilation and stuff. But like it just like it reminded me of like when someone kind of arrives at their
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see someone come into their own.
Yeah.
And it just brought back so many memories.
That's awesome.
And that's going to be so fun for you with
yeah.
Logan,
Oh, yeah.
who's 10 or 11.
He's 10. He'll be 11 in March.
And I don't know if that's happened for him yet, but it will.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Could be a musical instrument, but
Yeah. I can't wait for that. He's my favorite human on this planet.
yeah.
He is funny. Thank goodness he gets that from me. And but he's so smart. So hey, honestly, I mean, I think if you want to talk about that, like how they're coming into their own, he's very, very smart. And so to see whenever he does every once in a while, like maybe struggle with something, and then all of a sudden you see that light change and then just kind of progress like that. So yeah, I look forward to that. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. He's very talented on the video games, on the
Yeah.
old gamer. So yeah, he and his dad are very good at that. But yeah, so yeah, I do look forward to that. He's quite amazing. I love that kid.
All right. So let's get to the part of the story of where do you meet Warren?
I actually met Warren on Match.com.
Did you?
Yep. sure
Here in
did.
Huntsville.
He was here in Huntsville, and I was in Dalton, Georgia.
Ah.
So yeah.
So what was your radius, like 200 miles?
Yep, pretty much like 250 miles. And I found him, so to speak. He was he popped up on my who you should know kind of type thing, I guess. Of course, this is forever ago. But yeah, he showed up, and his profile picture, he had a Michigan t-shirt on. And so I'm from Michigan, and he's wearing a Michigan t-shirt. So I sent him a message. Took a shot in the dark. I was like, hey, I see another transplanted Yankee in the South, and I just thought I'd say hi. Saw your picture, probably told him it was cute, whatever. I don't know. But he messaged me back, and it wasn't like some blurb. He like wrote me a letter, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And then so I can't be outdone. So I wrote him back a letter, and then he wrote me a 2-page letter, and I wrote him a 2-page letter. And then he was like, hey, can I just call you? Can I have your number? And it's all downhill since then. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, we've been together since 2009. We'll be celebrating our 12th anniversary. Is that right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, 12th anniversary next month.
There you go.
So yeah, but yeah, Match.com, we are a success story. So yeah.
So you mentioned your in-laws are in Peachtree City. Were they from, like, what's up with the Michigan? Was he from Michigan originally?
No, so Air Force. So his so Eric was just my father-in-law. He was Air Force. So I think they actually lived in Utah and Virginia. When you were like listing all these places, I was like, Dad,
Hill
no.
Air Force Base.
Yeah, I guess. But so they actually he worked at I think it was GM. I think it's GM.
Okay.
Eric worked for GM when he retired from Air Force. And then they moved down to Peachtree City before Warren graduated because he actually moved to California for a time for job. I think he worked for Northrop Grumman or whatever, however I can never say
Northrop Grumman, yeah.
That one, NG.
Yeah.
And so, and then they moved down to Peachtree City because Eric worked for Panasonic, I think, for a while before retiring.
When Eric was with GM, was that up in Michigan?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Enough.
So, but they lived there in that area, in Flint area. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he went to the University of Michigan. Warren went to U of M.
Okay.
So, and it was ironic because we literally from 90, well, he says he moved there in 93. I think he's lying. It's 94. but I moved to Stockbridge in 94, and he moved 93, 94 over there in that area. We were literally 45 minutes apart.
Really?
For years. So we always talk like, oh my gosh, did you ever go to like the Okemos Mall and all that kind of stuff? And we could have seen each other. Well, there
you are.
There's the stud.
Keep going. Sorry.
So that he would go to the football games because he was going to college there. Mm-hmm. And I actually worked the Michigan games. The church that I was a part of, we would work the concession stands where a percentage would go to the women's and children's shelter. And so who's to say he could have come and bought like a hot dog from me? We don't know, but it's just kind of weird how things like that kind of come together.
Maybe he yelled at you like, where is the ketchup?
Then he would have gotten like a Coke on his face. Nobody yells at me. I'm just kidding.
So let's cycle through some pictures.
Okay.
This is the first one I have.
Yeah, that's one of our first picture engagement photos. So yeah.
You got married in what, January of 11?
Yep.
Is that right?
2011. Yep.
Okay.
Sure did.
And there you guys are
Troy.
doing something.
We were on our way. Okay, we were on our way to the ECU game at the Birmingham Bowl in 2015.
Who was ECU playing? Michigan?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say that'd be like playing JV.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
ECU is playing Michigan in 2023. We're going.
Oh gosh.
So it's okay.
They're paying ECU to go up there and get
100% correct.
Butts kicked.
Got to get the money. Yeah. It's all about the money. But I'm excited though. ECU had a good year this year, Troy. Come on.
Well,
they made it to the Birmingham Bowl again.
That's good.
So there's something.
ECU Pirates.
ECU Pirates.
Yeah, I think they're more of a baseball school, but
listen. PD the Pirate always comes through. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't know. I go back and forth on like scheduling in college football. And like, look, college is difficult because you have to be perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're not undefeated, right, you're not in the playoffs.
I mean, that's a proof right now with Alabama because how many regular season games and everybody thought the dynasty was just over, and I was like, oh my gosh! But they expect these players to be perfect, like you said. So
yeah, Coach Saban's always like, we get it. reminder, we always get everybody's best game.
Yeah.
I speaking of we as a
No, but
it's my
I
new
understand
team.
what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's true. They do get everybody's best game,
Yeah.
and it's difficult. And unfortunately, you can't. Yeah, if you can maybe lose once or twice if you're a power school.
Yeah, but still, like,
And
it's just insane because it's like, how many points? And listen, I'm not even an Alabama fan. Don't kick me out of your area here. But I mean, I feel like it's so unfair because, I mean, they lost by what? A total of 4 points?
Yeah.
Out of 2 games?
I know.
4 points.
Well, and it's so subjective.
It's
like,
ridiculous.
the
I'm
ranking.
sorry. It's just ridiculous how they treat, like, these kids work hard and they have like they've set the level like themselves
Yeah.
and they lost. Okay, but like you said,
But I
Saban
think-
got their best game, so.
I guess my point is like it is every now and then you do need to schedule a cupcake like an ECU to come in.
Absolutely.
So that Michigan can be like, all right, let's just.
Feel good.
Not every game needs to be a
Listen,
grinder.
I hate to break this to you, Troy, but Michigan's undefeated right now. They got a big old bowl game.
No,
this
I think
weekend.
Michigan's going to win it all this year.
I hope so.
I really do. In fact, I do hope Michigan wins all.
I hope so. I mean, because here's the thing. I mean, 2015 is when they got Harbaugh, and now I feel like just now
Yeah.
we're starting to see a return on all of that. But we're excited. We're a household. We're Michiganders. I'm from EC, North Carolina, Eastern Carolina, but ECU always holds a special place in my heart.
Really?
Oh yeah.
When did you? I didn't know you lived in North
Oh
Carolina.
yeah, Greenville, North Carolina.
Oh, that's right, Greenville.
Yeah, Greenville,
Sorry,
North Carolina.
I'm
So-
speaking so ill of your ECU Pirates.
that's okay. I'm used to it. It's fine. No worries. But no, and I lived there till I was 13. So, I mean, I was kind of raised in, purple and gold.
Yeah.
But, my adolescent years were Michigan. That was actually one of the first questions that Warren asked me. He was like, so are you a Michigan or Michigan State fan? I was like, Michigan, they have better colors because it's, no offense or anyway, but they just do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when we, that was the charming picture you had posted.
Oh, I'm
That
coming
was-
back to it. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Let's-
That's on our way to the Birmingham bowl game.
So
yeah.
is that Logan's child's? Is that a seat in the
Yes,
back?
that's the seat. Yes.
All right. So
We didn't forget him. He just,
This your house?
yes.
That's kind of very exciting, right? When you build a home.
yeah. Yeah, nerve wracking. But yeah, I was pregnant at the time. Never build a house with a pregnant person. Just want to throw that out there. Ever.
Were you changing your mind left
No,
and right?
I was just over it. I was just like, my husband is an aerospace engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have seen how many times we have like a walk-in shower, and I've never seen someone like so focused and analytical. I'm glad he was. Don't get me wrong. I'm very thankful that he was for how
like the
particular-
dimensions. Yeah.
He was like walking out in our apartment at the time, like with tape measure, and I was like, just make a decision, But
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for him. But yeah, we that's our home. That was like October of 2011. I think that's when we started.
Yeah. I mentioned this to my last guest. It's always nice when people are avid posters on Facebook like you are.
Yeah.
So that helps somebody like me when
Sure.
you're trying to do research and
Oh,
you're like
yeah.
kind of going back through. Like I couldn't find much
Yeah.
on the old internet,
On the interwebs.
but you learn a lot just through pictures.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
like, oh wow. And I realized like you got married and the house was like shortly thereafter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that reminds me when I was finishing my master's and I was working full time, going to school full time, and we were building a new house. And I also, then I had like a physical coming up.
Oh,
and I think I
geez.
had like a month left. I think this was like November. The semester would end in December. And I go in for this physical and my blood pressure is like just really
Through the
high.
roof. No doubt.
And the doctor comes in and he like looks at the paper and then he looks at me and he's like, you got a lot going on in life right now? And I'm like,
nah, not at all. You're fine.
and I was like, yeah. He's like, all right. He's just, because like looking back at your prior physicals, like
Yeah.
something's different.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, that's stressful.
yeah, I kind of got a lot going on.
Yeah,
dude.
that's stressful for sure. Oh my God.
But it's so,
There's a lot going on. No.
I'll tell you,
I'm fine.
I don't think I ever want to do a new build again,
Oh no.
but it was kind of fun.
Picking
do
out,
it one
doing
time.
it. Yeah, I'm glad I was very blessed to have the opportunity to do that. But nope, we'll buy or rent from now. Nope, no way.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Surprise. Okay,
Okay.
so tell me about this one.
Oh, that's my kiddo. He was so little. We were at the I think that's the Chattanooga Zoo. And
Aquarium or zoo?
Aquarium, yeah. Yes, aquarium, yeah. You know better than I do. Yeah, so we were in the scuba diver cage.
Well, at first,
yeah.
before I saw this enormous shark in the background,
Yeah.
I thought it might be like an escape room or something. And then I saw on your caption something about the aquarium.
Yeah.
And then the short came into focus.
Yes.
But I zeroed in on the bars.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I'm starting to realize I make a lot of silly faces on my public pictures. So yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Now tell me what's going on here.
So that was take your kid to work day. So Logan wanted to wear a tie like Daddy.
There you go.
Man, he's so little. Oh my gosh, he's almost as tall as I am now.
Did you remember his report, like when he came back from?
Well, it's so funny. He got to spend like a half day, because I mean, he was like 4 or 5 right there. And so I met them for lunch, and they were just too cute. They're so cute together. He was just sitting there talking to his dad about rockets and things like that. And it was really cute. So yeah. Aw.
I used to tell my kids, like, I don't think you're really going to want to come to. It's not that exciting at my job.
Right.
Like, we can take you to the cafeteria, but I think if you just
Eat
sat
lunch.
there and watched me send emails all day,
Yeah.
you may not ever want to work.
Well, I was so excited for this year because, he could actually come to work with me, and I asked him, I was like, oh my gosh, because Warren's working from home majority of the time, for his job. And I was like, oh, you gonna come to the station with me?
Yeah.
And we can do this. And he was like, I'm good. I was like, break my heart.
I'm good.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm good. That's what I get. He just wants the ZYP swag.
Yeah.
That's all he wants. So yeah. But
All right, so tell me about this cake.
oh, that's Logan's 10-year-old cake. Yes, like I said, he's a huge gamer. So, my God.
Did you make this cake?
No, I used to make cakes, but I don't do that. I did not make that. But yeah, that's his gamer. That's his gamer cake.
In my last episode, which I just released yesterday with Tony Eberhart, sorry. See, I did it. When she came on, we talked about the fact I'm Troy. There's like a Tori or a Tony.
and a Troy, yes.
And
I remember that part of that. Yeah.
And she was saying that on NPR, they had talked about where like you put these in the semantic buckets. And so sure enough, even though I know her name is Tony.
Yeah.
The fact that you're sitting here and our friends are Tori, and my name is Troy, it just gets scrambled.
It gets a lot.
But I brought up like 2 cakes, and I'm like, you make these? She's like, nope, that's from Publix.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah, that's straight up from Publix.
Yeah, so they do a good job.
We have got a really good, close relationship. I love my Publix.
So that's 3 cakes in a row, and three shout outs to
3
Publix.
shout outs to Publix. I mean, they're doing something right. That's for sure.
All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Of course, I'm not scrolling the right way.
Oh, yeah.
And these are the obligatory. Has there been one every single year?
Every single one. And so that little chalkboard that he's holding, he has had since pre-K.
Okay.
So I just changed the date and the teacher. But that way I have a nice little, like when he graduates high school and we do like a party, you don't think his mama is going to embarrass him as much as possible? Yes. So I've got pre-K all the way up to 5th grade right now. So yeah.
I guess I'll just share a family secret.
Let's hear it.
With you.
Yeah.
My wife's actually done a really good job.
Oh.
Over the years, she'll get a Dr. Seuss book.
Okay.
And every teacher that they've had has signed the book, and then they get it when they graduate.
Oh, that's so great.
I think they all know that because now that we've had 2 graduate high school, and
they were given the book.
Yeah, and then my 3rd graduates from James Clemens.
Okay.
This coming.
Yeah.
He's halfway done, right? And then I'll have one more. But that's something when you see the culmination of that after all these years. And I don't know exactly how it works in high school.
Right.
I think she takes it in and just kind of leaves it and just requests that they sign it. But it's certainly different. Like I far more remember the times with my elementary school teachers because I was with them all day.
Right.
But that is kind of like a really cool.
That's so neat. I love that. That's such a clever
idea.
idea.
It takes 18, well, not 18,
it's dedication.
13 years of dedication, right? To see that through.
I'm doing well with the pictures, Troy. Don't put too much pressure on me.
No. Okay, here, let's see. I want to keep going, I think. Now, this picture here. So, do you mind talking about the weight loss?
Sure. Ask me anything about the weight loss. Yeah.
So, let's show the picture first.
Yes.
I think this is fairly recent.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And you, and I know Tori, because I hear her do her commercials on ZYP for it.
Yep.
Huntsville Weigh Loss Centers.
Yes.
Take it from there.
So, we were given an opportunity to do this program because, as you said, that we're talking about them every day. And, given the opportunity to use their product and do their program to lose weight and then be able to talk about it. So a lot of, we've all, I feel like I'm doing an endorsement right now. A lot of us, we do the yo-yo diets. I mean, we've all done it. We've done the keto, we've done paleo, we've done counting calories and carbs and
Did
stuff.
you call it YOGO?
YOLO, like
YOLO. Okay.
YOLO, up and down, YOLO, YOLO. Yeah. It shouldn't be something else, but that's what I call it. Yeah,
Gotcha.
But anyway, so I started the program. Tori and I did it. Thank God for her. I'm telling you, like if we didn't have each other,
Accountability partner.
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of those times, like I'm texting her, like I've only lost X amount today or in the last 2 days, and she would be, "Hey, don't worry, you're doing great. You know what's going to do," and vice versa. She would text me, and we text each other. I had to say, like during that, I mean, we were close. Like we worked together, and we would text every once in a while, and maybe get together every once in a while, like for brunch or something. But that program really kind of brought us together, very close. And like I said, I adore her. She's fantastic, fabulous people. But anyway, so with the program, I did it for 63 days and followed it, committed to it. And I started out, and I don't mind, I don't care.
Please.
I started out like 18, 20 pants, which is fine. I'm very comfortable. I was very comfortable. I still am, but very comfortable in my skin. I just, my philosophy has always been, don't like it, don't look. So I'm very comfortable. And, but I went from that to like, I'm on like 12, 14 now in like
Nice.
2.5 months, which is crazy. So I really,
So is it always a 63-day plan?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 63. What it's doing is teaching you about food as fuel, not,
Right.
I was an emotional eater. I was a bored eater. How many times have we done that? And I was drinking, like I only drink water and black coffee still to this day, even though I'm 3 weeks post from the program, because it's just, I don't want it. I don't need it. So
What'd you drink before?
Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I love Diet
I need
Coke.
to get off of it.
I'm telling you, it was hard at first, but I just, I don't know. I just made a decision just to quit, and I did. So I
Good
feel
for
so
you.
much better. I'm going to tell you that.
I think she said she lost 30. Tori
She did.
Yeah.
She did, which I don't know where from where. She's a tiny person anyway. So, but yeah, we did. We worked really hard, and I mean, we still and continued. I mean, because why go through like 63 days of a commitment and just to be like, okay, it's over with,
Yeah.
But no.
I tell you, like, I go up and down, right? In
Sure.
my weight.
We all
And
do.
And
Yeah.
I can tell you, like, if you gave me a year, if it was like 2008, 2009, I can tell you what I weighed, because it's like I've lost weight and I've gained it back, and I've lost weight and I've gained it back. Like, but it's so funny when like you get on the scale. Like this morning, I weighed myself like 4 times. Like every time I go to the bathroom or something.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay. And like 2 hours later, like how can I be 0.2 higher?
Yeah.
Either the scale's got to be wrong.
Oh yeah, I know.
And it's just like
Yes.
you sit there and you get so frustrated, and there's on one hand, I would imagine you do have to constantly weigh yourself.
You do every
but
day.
on the other hand, you can't be like too upset because
Correct.
there's going to be some
And everyone-
abnormalities.
Of course. And that's the reason why they tell you, like, you have to weigh every day, because you have to log in and tell them, because you have to, it's really good accountability for yourself, because, I mean, a lot of us are visuals, like visual people. So if you see that number and it's going down, what is that going to do? Encourage you to, oh my gosh, this is working. This is doing. You're going to have that fluctuation. I mean, you can retain water because you ate too much salt. I mean, that's just how our bodies are. And that was, it was an emotion, like very beginning, it was an emotional roller coaster, because I'm doing everything right. And then I would like gain 0.2.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, I mean, I lost, like I said, 31.8 pounds and 14 inches off my body.
That's amazing.
So it was just, but yeah, I'm like I said, I'm really happy. I've taken a lot of those things that I learned with Weight Loss Centers of Huntsville. And, I'm still continuing with the water and black coffee. I mean, I was drinking creamer and, fake sugars and stuff like that. And I really have cut about 95% of all of the extra stuff out.
Good.
So, yeah.
Do you, with any past diets, you talked about the yo-yo effect.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any like really bad experiences? I can tell you one, but I'll give you first go.
A bad one was probably, I did at the time it was called Atkins or whatever.
Yeah.
And it worked, but then I wasn't following it correctly, because I never went through our program. It was like, oh, you just cut carbs out, you'll be fine.
We didn't really go into full keto.
I did never, but I lost, oh my gosh. I mean, I lost weight, but my skin wasn't healthy.
Really?
and started losing my hair.
Oh, my.
Like I wasn't getting the appropriate things because I wasn't following. Now keto, like today's keto or whatever. My mom and dad are on it, and they've been on it for a year. My mom's her because she has like A1C, her number. She was pre-diabetic. She doesn't take metformin now. It's like 5.1. It's just amazing. It works for some people, and for some, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
So, what about yours? What was yours?
Have you ever heard of Medifast?
Yes.
So like, it's one of those where you like, you order the food.
Yeah.
And it's always, it's all about calorie restriction.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and it's really hard when you're like trying to get onto that program and you're hungry.
Oh,
because you're only eating these little meals and like, like a little cookie, but it's tiny.
Yeah.
So I was on that for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 weeks, maybe 2 months at the most.
Yeah.
And I had lost some weight.
Sure.
And they had advised, do not exercise.
Correct.
While you do this.
Yes.
I said, okay. So then once I had like I lost like 20, 25 pounds and I wanted to start exercising, but I still even gave it more time.
Oh,
I think they advised like, don't exercise. Let's just say for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I waited like 5 weeks.
Okay.
And then I want to go. Actually, it was my first day at this new building and I had a gym. I'm like, sweet. So I go in, I'm in the same industry, contracting industry, but I was in a building I never worked in. And I go to this gym and all I did was I get on the exercise bike. It was like a recumbent bike.
Oh no.
Actually, no, it was an upright bike. And I'm like, I'm just going to ride for, and I wasn't riding hard by any stretch.
Yeah.
And I'm like 10 minutes into it because I used to like sometimes ride the bike and I knew what I used to do in a workout and it was far from that. And I started feeling like kind of lightheaded.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling too good. Let me get off the bike. And I went over,
Yikes.
I went to like the lat pull down machine. I put like, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds on that. I went like 2 reps and I'm like, I'm going to pass out.
Yep.
So I went and sat. I'm like, okay, where's the safest place to pass out? And there was like 2 people in the gym. And I had water, I'm taking the water. It's not helping. And I sit down on like the butterfly machine. Mm-hmm. And I figured, okay, if I pass out, I'm at a little bit of a decline.
Okay, yeah.
So that I'll catch either way.
Right.
It'll catch me. And next thing you know, I'm waking up.
Oh my gosh.
And my water had like fallen. It's like on the ground. My hat, I was wearing a hat. It was on the ground. And nobody notices. And I don't know how long I was out.
My gosh.
I'm sure it wasn't very long.
Okay.
But I was like, I have no energy.
Yeah.
Like it just sapped me.
Yeah.
And it kind of was like, I can't, if you're going to do a diet, then it has to be a life-changing,
right,
life-altering, or it becomes what's the new norm so you can keep it off.
Right. It has to be an actual reality.
Right.
I followed this lady on TikTok, and she talks about, a lot of the diets, especially counting carbs. Counting calories. I did that back in 2015. It works, but the thing is that it's not sustainable, but she even says herself, like, your max calories should be 19, 20. Your floor of your protein should be no less than 90 and above. And the thing is that one of the things that I crack up about is that nobody should be on a 1,200 calorie diet unless you're a toddler or a 99-year-old person at home, that kind of thing, So everybody has their way. Everybody is different. But for me, that's what I'm saying. Like when I do the commercials on ZYP and on Nash, I don't say like, well, if I can do it, you can do it. I don't, because a lot of people may not. But I am a success story. I am someone that you can see who is local, who lives here, who you will see in Publix shopping for their food. Yeah. That it really does work. So
I'll tell you, I've always felt that radio advertising works really well. And when the on-air personalities get to pitch something, even just listening to Tori pitch the accountant, the accountants that she's gone to, right, to help her with her taxes, like, I might do that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of, and I would assume you wouldn't take it on unless it was a worthy thing.
Right.
And you felt like, okay, this is a viable company, right? You're not trying to
I
sell the public a bunch of.
Exactly. Our salespeople, when we first start, they ask us, okay, is there anything that you will just say no to? Like, it's just not in your wheelhouse. It's something you're not comfortable with. And if we do, then we'll list those. But they always come to us. We have a really great sales staff. Like we have some of the best in the business. We really do. And I mean, I've worked with sales in radio. Now I haven't, I was on more of the administrative side when I first got into radio a couple decades ago. But this salespeople, our group, some of the best in the business.
That's
I'm
cool.
very impressed with them. They are nonstop, but they do ask us like, hey, I've got this possible. Is this something you might be interested in? We want you to meet them. We want you to, so it's not like we just kind of like fly, to see for pants kind of type thing. We know our clients. We know our people. And so,
Yeah.
And the thing is that what's really great about local radio, when you have local on-air personalities, is that our kids could be on the same soccer team.
Yeah.
Or you're going to see me at the grocery store, or you're going to see me at the pool hall. I am who I am. Sam, I am, but I mean, I'm who I am in the studio and on the air is exactly the same person who I am outside of that. So like what you're getting now, we're all talking stuff like that, but I'm going to laugh because I love to laugh.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's easier for someone who's listening to be like, oh my gosh, I think I know, I've heard her name before. I think she plays pool over here. It makes us relatable because we are just people, just like anyone else. And we're going to have to go to the same doctors, and we're going to have to go to the same, auto, replacement glass place. We're going to have to go to all these things. And so why not utilize someone who has an opportunity to market that business?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let me ask you this question, if you
Sure.
don't mind. Is it challenging and difficult at times to kind of ramp yourself up for that positive disposition and attitude that you're supposed to have, whether it's in the morning show or the afternoon show? Because obviously on-air personalities do an exceptional job with that.
Right.
Right? You're always on, always upbeat, never really going to show your true colors or true
Right.
feelings, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how difficult is that?
Okay. So I don't know if you're going to like really believe me or not. I don't know. I think it takes its own. One thing that so we have Steve, who's our boss, like me and Tori and all, we have our boss, Steve. And then his boss his name is John Lewis. He's like, please don't I got your title wrong. I think it's, he's vice president of Huntsville, like all of us. He's the man.
The operations.
Yes, he's in charge of all us. I'm sure I got your name wrong, John. I'm sorry. But one of the things that I have learned, and I admire, he's such a positive person, like so positive. Like you're like, is this real life? Like someone's that positive, and he truly is. But one of the things a couple things I've taken from him, like when we have our meetings and stuff like that, it was like, you're not having a bad day, you're having a bad moment in a day.
Got it.
And so I think about that. And then another one is, and I actually got my son starting with this. It's a great day to have a great day. And I think I try to think I'm a positive person. Those close to me probably wouldn't agree, but I am, like just joking around. We all joke, but it's not hard. Like I know I'm still new to this business. I'm still new. I'm still, honeymoon phase, maybe. I don't know. But I love what I do. And I get, the only thing I don't like is like that 4 a.m. alarm clock. That stinks.
Yeah.
But I love what I do. And it's just, sometimes I just, I still can't believe that I get to do something that growing up, in that era of the 1900s, radio was, the on-air personalities, they were something, you know what I mean? And I think part of me still has got that childlike mentality of, you get to do something that you've always thought was so cool.
Local celebrity.
Well, I don't know. I don't do that. I'm not a local celebrity.
But you are.
Nah, I can't. No, I got an ego. No.
But I was thinking, I don't know if pool is the best sport to use this analogy, but kind of going what you said versus for kind of bad moment, bad day, where if you can just chalk it up, okay, I just had one bad shot.
Right.
Unfortunately, with really, really good pool players,
Yeah.
that can sink you.
Absolutely, it can.
It doesn't
Trust
mean
me.
you're a bad pool player.
No.
But in something like in golf, is just there's more holes. I think there's more of a tendency where you could you could have one bad swing,
Sure.
and it may or may not cost you the whole round.
Right.
And I think pool might be the same way. Mm-hmm. But you can't. Sometimes you just can't because, man, a really good 9-ball player.
Oh,
you
yeah.
give them one win of opportunity, right? And
They're done.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
But you still have to pick yourself up and
Yeah.
move on to the next one. Just because I had one bad shot
Yeah.
in that
Sure.
round doesn't mean that I'm not good enough and able to just
Just keep on.
keep on going.
Keep on trucking.
Yep.
And I think that's what it is. Like at the end of the day, we listen, we are human. Just as anyone else, we have a job to go to. We are human. We can have those bad days. But I know exactly what you're saying because if we convey that on the air,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If we're like, hey, it's Sam I am for the Mojo, who wants to listen to that?
Yeah, you're
No
there to
one
help
does.
me out, right?
Exactly. That is our job. Our job, especially on the morning show, okay? Our job is to make you forget your real life, your problems for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes of your day. And if we can't do that, then we're not doing something right. It's our job because that's what we get paid to do. We get to pay to make you forget. Maybe you had a fight with your significant other or you are dreading going to your job. But if we can make you laugh about some stupid criminal, probably in Florida, but if we can make you laugh about something and take your mind off of that, then we've done our job.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to listen to some Debbie Downer on the radio. Hey, just want to tell you guys, thanks for listening. This is some Florida guy. I don't know. Nobody wants to listen to that.
I can't wait to leave here.
Oh my gosh, I hate my job. Sucks. No, I don't want to do that. That's the reason why I have to, in between the morning show and going over to Nash, I carry that same energy because it might be a different demographic, but they're listeners. And I want to be like, hey, it's Sam I am from 104.3 ZYP to, hey, it's Sam I am. Thank you so much for listening to 93.3 Nash Icon. Cannot wait to start. You have to. You have to do that because I like to keep my job. So, happy listeners mean happy on-air talent. So, yeah.
You maybe just think of something. So on one hand, kind of like being an actor or an actress, but not just as you were describing before. Let's say the majority of on-air personalities are not a completely different person off air. Maybe arguably many of them are kind of the same, an extension of themselves. However, the acting in a way, like you were saying, is this is still your job.
Yes.
And if you're not feeling it, well, you better become a good actor or actress
Exactly.
because it is your job to be feeling it, right?
Absolutely.
To
Nobody wants to
project
listen. Nobody wants to listen to that. I know I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I mean, if that's the thing. I've seen it for myself, and I've had to do it myself. If I have not slept well, if I'm not feeling well, I'm still going into my job.
Mm-hmm.
We might be on the air, everything is all happy, and as soon as we pull the head off, I'm got my head in my hand, or because I'm tired, or I have a headache, or maybe had a bad evening. Who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, that's your job. You just got to suck it up, and because you're there for a reason, and it's to help to make our listeners happy and make them forget about it because that's just what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You want to go back to some pictures?
Yeah, I love it. It's like a little walk down.
I'm going to see
memory
what
lane.
else. Now, everyone's in costume here, so I'm not exactly
Okay.
sure who's who. But can you walk me through this picture?
Okay, it's just a picture. There's nobody. This is no costumes of anybody I know. Oh wait, I see Logan. Oh my
Logan's
gosh.
down there, yeah.
I didn't even see him.
He's a little Vader?
He is the little Vader. I think that was at the Havoc game
Okay.
when they had Star Wars night
Okay.
a long time ago.
Is Warren one of these guys?
No. We wouldn't be walking in together otherwise.
By the way, so I think this might be on his Facebook page.
Okay.
I don't have it with me though.
Okay.
But
okay.
when he went up to McDonald's and ordered in the voice of Batman.
Gosh. Was he in Batman costume?
Yeah, and you were in the back, I think, filming him from the
Yes.
back seat.
Oh my God.
He's like, I want a number one, whatever. And then when you guys pulled up
Yes.
and the guy saw him in his costume,
Yes.
he's like, oh, now it totally makes sense why you
Yes.
had that weird voice.
God, I'm gonna have to talk to him about his privacy issues.
I think that was 7 years ago, based on the timestamp.
He still has the costume, and he will still every once in a while break that out at our local McDonald's here in Madison.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'll say that. We'll say it's cool.
All right, now this is for Warren. This is
Okay.
something just recent that happened, right? This is
Yes.
he worked on the Artemis.
Yes, he did.
What was his particular role?
Okay, so he is, he still is, because of course we have more Artemises to come. But with Artemis 1, he created the timeline. So everything started at 0. He is the one who created, I call it the spreadsheet because this is exactly what it's, Excel craziness. But his program that he made is when everything starts firing off. He's the one who created the program of this is going to here and this command's here and this is going here. It's his baby.
It's like the firing sequence.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, but his little hands were I should little hands, but his hands were all over Artemis. And,
That's cool.
And it was
Who does he work for? What company?
Jacobs.
Jacobs, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
he works on the Arsenal for NASA, but he's a contractor for Jacobs.
Sure.
But this was 10 years in the making, and it was a very iconic, very big moment in his life, and I'm very proud of him. He works very hard.
Yeah.
I can't let him see this video either. So no, I'm just kidding. But no, that's Artemis, and that was a huge, big deal. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's a really cool picture too.
Yeah.
All right, now this might be recent, but
Oh
who's this guy or gal? Is that a girl dog?
That is my parents' new dog.
Yay.
That's Chloe.
Oh, okay.
She's a mess. She's so little. But I will tell you this. We might have some beef because, we haven't had a family picture
Okay.
years. And as soon as this little dog showed up, my mom is planning.
All of a sudden.
The dog has a photo with Santa, like family picture style. And I told my mom, like when she told me this, I said, I'm talking about this on the air. Like this is happening. And so, but yeah, that's Chloe. She's adorable. And when they first told me that they were getting a dog, I immediately went on Amazon and started buying. I'm an enabler, Troy. Okay, that's what it is. But I started buying her like clothes and stuff.
For the dog.
For the dog, I know. She's not even mine. And I was buying stuff for her. So
Now here's the big family picture.
yes.
So there's your mom on the left of your dad, right? In the
Yes.
teal cover.
Mhm. Yeah, that's my mom. Her name is Nora, aka Norma.
Norma, okay.
I call her Norma. She's going to kill me for that one too. So her name is Nora. And then that's my sister, Jessica, and her husband, Gareth.
Okay.
And now this one's a while ago because the littlest one is not in the picture.
Yeah.
Actually, let's see.
There's 2 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 2 of them.
There's
That's
2
not
missing.
there.
Okay.
I can't even keep up. But that's Adele, Daisy, Ruth, and then the littlest one that is Silas. And then there's the newest one, second newest. His name is Gilbert.
Okay.
And the littlest one, his name is Lex.
Lex.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool name.
So there's 2 extra ones there.
And there's a picture with the guys.
Yeah. Warren with the beard. You
Yeah.
look good with the beard, babe. Just want to throw that out there.
He does.
I know.
And there you are with your girlfriends here. Now, where are you headed?
We were headed to Chattanooga. So the girl in the front, her name is Sarah, and she was turning 21. Well, she was already 21, so we were taking her to Chattanooga.
Okay.
And so to do like a pub crawl where she had to do all the, like ask for a stranger's number or do all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And the back behind her was her mom, and then right beside her is her sister-in-law Amanda. And then the next one behind there was Christy Markham, which is friends with family with Sarah. But actually, it's really interesting because Sarah wasn't she wasn't married yet in this photo, but I'm her 2 kids, Jackson and Peyton. I'm their godmother, so they're sweet kids. So yeah, they live in Washington State. So yeah.
They do. Mm-hmm. And here you are at the pool hall.
Yes, again, I'm starting to see another theme here. This was the ladies' team that we had put together. I helped compete, but I wasn't able to go. And the lady that's right beside me, there on my right, that's Deborah.
That was Deborah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that team, they actually ended up going to Vegas. So.
Now, where did you play in Vegas? What hotel or whatever you at?
Well, Westgate.
Westgate.
Yeah. It used to be the Riviera, but they tore that down. And now they play at the Westgate. So.
And then there you are.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
So I always thought it was like somewhat dangerous, I guess, unless you know what you're doing to break from the side.
Yeah.
It would just introduce a higher risk of scratch, right?
Not if you know what you're
But
doing.
not if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's the best place. Actually, it's a little further out than what I do now. But that's the best way to make the 8 ball
Okay.
on the break. This is what you're trying to go for.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And are you putting what kind of spin are you putting on the ball on your break?
If I'm closer to the rail like that,
Mm-hmm.
I use a tiny little bit of, like, here's center of the ball, just a tiny little bit of bottom, because I don't want it to fly off. But if you use too much, it hit and will fly off the table.
Okay.
So I use a little bit more center, and just center of the ball, stroke through. But you can't pop it. You gotta flow through.
We already saw that one. Now this is I guess just at like an art class.
Yeah, that's over there at was it Pinot Palette
Mm-hmm.
over there at Providence. So the lady here on the very end,
On the bottom right.
yeah. Well, I guess my
Bottom
left
left,
over there.
okay.
Okay, yeah. That's actually, so what's really cool is that I'm still friends with her, but she used to be Logan's pre-K teacher.
Oh, okay.
But she's fabulous. She always sends me like pictures and stuff like, hey, let's do this painting. So that's kind of like our little kind of go thing to do. So
Cool.
yeah, it's the Pinot's Palette. Yeah, I love that place.
We did like a cooking class once.
Did you?
I love doing group classes like
Oh,
this.
okay.
It's
That's
kind of-
awesome.
They're
Yeah.
fun to do.
Yeah.
And I just saw this. You had posted someone has a burger named Sam I Am. American cheese over. This is like a Red Robin burger.
No,
has
I'm
the
going to tell you
fried
what
egg.
that is. I think, isn't that Bad Daddy's
Yes.
burger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I get tagged and stuff like this all the time. So and then I'll post it. But my favorite one was Rock and Roll Sushi.
Okay.
They don't have it's not called the Sam I Am anymore because it used to be for Sammy Hagar. So it's a Good Times roll, but I go in there, I'm like, I'll take the Sam I Am roll, please. But I get tagged and stuff like this all the time. Like,
That's
oh,
cool.
look, Sam I Am. So yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
Okay, so this is something I found through your APA, American. What does that stand
American
for?
Pool Players Association. Yeah.
This is a Halloween tournament flyer. It came from,
Okay.
and it says you won something. So this is even slightly more prestigious than your John Philip Sousa Award.
Okay.
You won the bra decorating competition with Deborah what?
Yeah.
Or who coming in second?
Where did you find this? Oh my God.
So, I mean, like, I got to know.
Okay.
And then it says, it goes on to say, alas, no men showed up dressed as women.
Yes. Okay. So that's a two-parter. Okay. So it's every year in October we hold the breast cancer tournament.
Okay.
So men and women can play, and so Lee and Cindy, who are the league operators for American Pool Players Association of North Alabama, they always host. They always want to do something like for the breast cancer awareness, and so they always wanted people to decorate bras, and then they people vote on them, and they use $1 to vote. So whoever wins wins, and that's actually the last year that Deborah What was able to participate, to decorate a bra, and so now this past October was the second annual Deborah McClure breast cancer awareness tournament, so which was very special to all of us.
Sure.
But anyway, so yes, I decorate it with a whole bunch of rhinestones and feathers and glitter.
Do you still have it?
Ow. Listen, that thing had glitter
Not
on it.
hanging up in your closet at least?
No, Lord, no. If I knew you better, I would say something, but no, I'll wait till next time.
I had to ask you about that.
So with the comment about the
No men showing
no
up?
men showing up as women, so my brother lost a bet a few years ago, and he had to dress up as the Baywatch babes.
Okay.
And it was full everything. And yep. You want a picture of that, Troy? I can get you that one.
Please do. Send out my newsletter.
Done. So.
All right, let's transition.
Okay.
We're going to conclude by doing 2 games I like to play.
Okay.
One is one I've been doing a long time, the Quick 6.
Okay.
And I might have 7. Can't remember.
All right.
And the other one is we're going to kind of play Name That Tune.
Oh, you're putting pressure.
I'm going to test you. See how.
God.
And I think it's actually kind of a very difficult mix, but I figured, hey, You come from the music world.
Oh,
and
no. Okay.
This should be really
like
easy
I'm-
for you.
Let's fingers crossed on that one. But
All
you
right.
can cut and edit, so it's fine. We
Yeah.
can make it look like I'm a professional. I know what I'm talking about.
I could,
You could, but
see.
you won't.
but I may not.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you know what? So this was the first question was the one I asked you earlier. Like
Okay.
What you had won on the radio. So
Okay.
we'll skip that one.
All right.
Here's the new number one question.
Okay.
So you mentioned you like to go on cruises,
Love cruising.
right?
Yeah.
Give me the perfect evening with you and Warren when you're on a cruise. What's the perfect evening look like?
Perfect evening. We all go to dinner. We have sit down dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and then Logan goes to Camp Ocean, which is the on the ship.
Which cruise line are you on?
Carnival.
Okay.
We're Carnival. We're just Carnival.
Okay.
So we've built up enough rewards that we're never going anywhere else.
Gotcha.
But he would go to Camp Ocean and hang out till 10 o'clock, and Warren and I will take a romantic stroll to the casino.
Got it.
That's what we do. We love the casino. Well, I do, and I think Warren used to.
You said you like roulette.
Love roulette. That is my game. I love it. Game of luck.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. Next one. Actually, if you thought so, you've said that Cozumel,
Yes.
this one, and Aruba are your favorite
Aruba,
two
yes.
places, but you've cruised a lot of places.
Yeah.
You had mentioned earlier that you have you had you've done photography, you had your own photography business. Where is one place though you would still like to snap a photo? Would it be back in one of those two places or somewhere else?
Somewhere new. I'm hoping to go within about a year and a half. I want to go to, we want to cruise to Alaska.
Oh yeah.
And to capture that photo of like the whale or something like that, even a glacier at this point. But yes, I feel like that's the photo. That or Hawaii, but Alaska, there's something about, I love taking photos of water. There's something very soothing to it, and different ways that you can take a picture and people can look at it and feel different things.
Yeah.
Water, So I'm anything with Alaska. I think
can't.
it'll be good.
It's been 20 years, but we went on an Alaska cruise.
Did you?
And we went on the Star Princess.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, from the 18th deck, there was like this lounge. And one day I was just sitting in the lounge. I think my wife was taking a nap, and a whale, I kid you not, followed us for probably 30 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just following the wake of the boat.
Yeah.
And we just kind of come up. And that's what's amazing about Alaska. Like if you've been to the Pacific Northwest, the trees are very similar, but the wildlife is like next level.
Completely
right?
different.
You're going to start seeing things that you've never seen. And then when you actually we actually got off the ship and did the land tour. Went through like Denali.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. It was just,
Wow.
yeah. And I would, if you do that, I would highly recommend, you take it to train. I
Okay.
don't know if you have a choice if you're going to go, because what happens is you get off the ship in like Seward, and then Anchorage is about an hour or so drive.
There's something with the train that we're looking into. So yeah.
And then the train, you can do it one or two directions. You either do the ship and the land tour together and start up in Fairbanks,
right.
and do your land tour first,
Okay.
and then do the ship and go back to Seattle as an
Okay.
example. Or you
Right.
do it the other way, where what we did was Seattle up to Seward,
Okay.
and then went to Anchorage, and then from Anchorage you take the train all the way to Fairbanks, and we stayed over in Mount Denali.
Okay.
Awesome,
Good to know.
13 days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, you'll have just so many chances to take some amazing photos.
Yeah. That would be probably, yeah, for sure.
One time we got off, we went to see a glacier in Juneau. Like that's one of the excursions.
Yeah.
It might have been Glacier National Park. And we get off the little bus and we start walking in, and people are screaming and leaving
What?
because they saw a bear. Like bears had come down, and they're out of there.
Gone.
Right? Then there's a group of people who were like, let's get closer.
Wait, now hang on. Hold up now. Because I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, ooh, let me just, one couple more steps. I used to live in Tennessee. All right, Smoky Mountains. This is nothing. It's nothing. We're used to it. It's fine. But yeah, that would be amazing.
All right, if you could sing a duet with another artist, who's it going to be?
Done. Reba McEntire.
Reba.
Yes. Does He Love You? Linda Davis and Reba McEntire. Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to push that on my Nash Icon show. So
Okay.
if somebody knows her, I'm cool with that. But yeah, in a heartbeat.
You're a good singer?
I like to think I can hold a tune.
Okay.
So,
what price would you pay
okay.
to be able to see your favorite artist, your favorite as part of a cruise? Like, what is your top dollar? Like, okay, I'm not going to exceed this, but I would pay this to see whomever on a Carnival cruise.
So like if Justin Timberlake shows up on the Carnival cruise, no limit.
There's no limit.
I'll spend whatever I need to, especially it comes like with a VIP. Hey, you get to meet and greet, maybe have dinner.
Okay.
Done. Honey, stay home. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a talented dude.
So talented. He's very handsome. I'm going to pay for that one. Go ahead.
I'm just going to let you chuckle for a moment
Sorry,
on
I
your
couldn't
own.
help it. I cracked myself up. I can't help it. Go ahead.
Give me a highlight from 2022.
Highlight from 2022.
And it can't be your weight loss because we've just talked about that.
We already talked about that. Highlight. Let's see. Okay, I will say this. Like, besides, I'm going to make this about me, obviously. No.
It's your episode.
It's my episode. I have to say the coolest thing. Well, oh man, there's so much, Troy. Jeez. I mean, I got on the morning show. I got my own show.
That's right.
I mean,
all that's to happen this year.
This year. Like, it's insane. Highlight.
Did you save any money on your car insurance?
Man. Okay, I will tell you this. I'll set it up like this. I made goals for myself for 2022, and definitely achieved all of them. But the highlight of it, I wanted to meet 3 celebrities. Okay.
Wow.
So my first celebrity I got to meet was Lawrence, which is the band Lawrence. It's a brother sister. They were here for the the Jubilee.
Okay.
So got to actually just stand there and talk to them, which was really cool because we played their song and stuff like that. And then the highlight, I guess you could say, is that I got to meet Jax. She's a singer-songwriter on TikTok. She sings Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
Secret. And I had messaged Steve and like, hey, this song is really hot right now. It's, it's popular on TikTok. It's moving up to getting closer to the top 40. Well, sure enough, he was able to get the song on to ZYP. And then like, hey, just want to let you know, a record company reached out. They're wanting to know if you would like to do an interview. Excuse me? Like, what?
Wow.
So she's pretty big. She's huge. I mean, she's playing everywhere, whatever. So I got to do that. And then just actually a few weeks ago, I got to interview, something drones. Might want to edit this part out. But the funniest man in America, he's a comedian. He was over at Stand Up Live, and he's been around like way long, but he's very popular. Okay. We'll just say Jax was like my biggest one. I can't remember his name.
Okay, it's okay.
So embarrassing. But yeah, so I mean, I would consider those the 3 celebrities. So, but I would say that would be I got all of my goals. Other ones that I don't talk about, but I got my goals. But
it's been a good year for you.
It's been a very good year. Very blessed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. One thing you don't get enough credit for.
Ooh. Nope.
You're not going there?
It's not like I don't get credit. I feel okay. So validation is my love language. So, which my best friend Beth tells me all the time. But it really is because I feel like I don't look at it as a bad thing because it pushes me to strive to be better and do more. Wow. I don't know.
Are you a vindictive person?
I'm petty. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to ask you a question like, because this has happened to me, or like, is there anyone like in your growing up years you'd love to go back and just put it in their face as far as like the success you've had?
Yeah.
Kind of what you're doing now, and they've never gotten out of the town, or just somehow you've been able to kind of, you could go in them and say, haha.
Have you had asked me that 20 years ago? I probably would have been like, oh yeah, got this and this. But I feel like I say I'm petty a little bit. But I think also too is growing up.
Yeah,
if you hold on to that stuff,
sure.
They're winning. At the end of the day, they haven't thought about me in 15, 20 years.
See, I was just testing your level of maturity.
Oh my God.
You
did I pass it?
You
Oh my God. Big day for me then.
All right, last question.
Okay.
3 things that you would do if you got a chance to meet Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
And he was here for the weekend.
Hang on, let me take my rings off. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm good.
What would be on your short list of things where you can hang out with Justin?
Okay. Karaoke for sure.
Okay.
And then take him to the Orion Amphitheater. Because
Okay.
you gotta promote it. That way if you want him to come.
Yeah.
Right? And then just have a big old party
Okay.
at my house. Chill out. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean,
Maybe give him a different kind of experience because maybe he's always around people that just
fake,
don't
weird.
know how to act.
Yeah,
Just
no.
be normal.
Be normal, relax. Let me fangirl for 5 minutes. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be chill. I would just be so cool. So yes, that would be what I would do.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope I could act normal.
Could you? Can you? I don't know
Maybe.
if I
Well,
wish
I know-
I'd grown up and say I would.
Well,
but I don't know if I
selfishly,
could.
I know he likes to golf, so I'd be like, we're going golfing. And then he would be down with that,
See?
right?
Okay, I can caddy. I don't know.
But you could
I
play pool.
Could play pool.
Probably a good athlete that way.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I would be too nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would be.
All right, you ready to play some Name That Tune?
I'm so nervous. I wish I had studied. Okay, let's go.
I really hope this isn't too hard.
Well, we
So
can
the
this out.
idea here is you just tell me stop when you either know the title or the artist.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily keeping time.
Okay.
If I had a production staff, maybe I could have a timer.
Okay.
But I just, it's just you're going to be your own critic or your own. You're going to be upset at yourself if you don't.
Yeah,
get these.
that's exactly what I was going to say. My shortcomings would be shown.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
She can kill with a smile, she can wound with her eyes, and she can ruin your faith with her casual lies. And she only reveals
Such a
what
good
she
song.
wants you to see.
Comes
She
a title.
hides like a child, but she's always a woman to me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you know the artist?
I don't. Wait. Give me the first letter.
Come close to the mic. It's
First
a
letter.
B.
Oh nope. I'm out.
She can lead you to
Last initial J. Famous for Piano Man,
Oh no way.
Billy Joel.
Oh my God. Now I feel stupid.
She's always a woman.
I knew that part. That's. I'm gonna let you in a little something.
Okay.
I can't tell you an artist to save my life unless it's on top 40 or tell you the name of the song, but I can sing it. It's
Okay.
weird. But anyway, go ahead. So I failed. I'm the 0 for 1.
Well, I looked at I think on ZYP's homepage, there was a link to like Barack Obama posted his playlist,
Okay.
his top songs for like 2022.
What, 2009? Where did
Well,
you find this link at?
No, it was just today. It's on your homepage. But it just occurred to me like I'm like I
Okay.
might recognize if
Yeah.
I heard it, but
Yeah.
it's like I'm getting so old.
No.
I don't know the title and the artist for
You
most
saying
everything
that
out
we're
there.
not that far from each other, so don't be using that old word. Mm-mm.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay. Man, where did you pull these from?
Spotify.
Oh, jeez.
This is like 70s. Oh, it's a long kind of
Yeah.
intro here. You'll hear it when you
Okay.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Okay, I'll keep going.
How much was? Hang on.
Female lead singer.
I need to hear their voice. Hang on.
It's coming.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm
Her
falling in love
her first initial is S.
I'm out.
Stevie
Wait,
Nicks.
I was about to.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yes. You're like S. I was like, what? No, wait, and then, dang it.
I bet you're good at singing this song.
This is a good one.
I love music.
It's good.
Okay, next one.
Hopefully, it's something.
This is 70s as well, maybe early
What?
80s.
Listen, I appreciate the fact that you think I know all music. This was before I was born.
You know who this is?
Hang on.
always dancing down the street with this wavy blue eyes.
Think about your high school dances.
How old do you think I am?
5 years younger than me.
Yeah, we didn't play this, buddy.
See?
I know. See, that's what I'm telling you. I can't can't tell you who it was, but I know the song.
My Best Friend's Girl.
Oh,
by
my
the
best friend's girl. Yeah.
by the Cars.
Okay. We got something like
Maybe.
80s or
That's coming.
90s. Oh, come on. Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
See?
What's the name of the song?
Uh,
This is where your
on
on-air personality comes into play.
Yeah. Hang on.
I think
I
this
don't
is
know
like 2008, 2011.
We were both young.
Here she goes.
First saw you.
Don't ask me the title of the song. I'm horrible at that, but I can tell you the song.
Love Story.
Love Story. That's it. I got Taylor Swift part right.
The thing is, right now, I don't even know what's next. I'm just hitting next.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm only seeing the
I hope it's something. Another 70s? 80s?
80s.
Oh, hang on.
You'll know when you hear the voice.
Okay. Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Cross the water.
What's this?
I don't know.
Human Nature.
I told you. I can either get one or the other, Troy.
Here's the next one.
Okay.
This is your junior high, 8th grade.
Yeah, hang on. Okay. Is that Green Day?
Yep.
And
It's from the Dookie album. Bienvenido.
nah.
You know what that is in Spanish? Welcome to Paradise.
Welcome to. Hey, I got the Green Day part right.
Okay, here comes you're gonna get this.
Okay.
It's too easy.
I threw a wish in the well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell. I looked at you as it fell, and now you're in my way.
This video is so lame.
It's bad.
I'm watching it.
I know it's bad though.
You know what it is?
No, I know the song.
Well, that's true. We should at least wait for the chorus.
Okay.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh yeah. Call Me Maybe.
That's right.
And it's just crazy. All right.
I can't remember if I have another one or not. Here, let's
I'd be
see.
sad if you
We'll be
didn't have any
surprised.
NSYNC in this. I was very
Oh,
upset.
I left that out on purpose.
Okay. Picture Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock.
Yes. Look
That
at
is
you.
listen, that
No.
is my karaoke song with the dude. That's
Really?
Yes. I get it 2 strums. I was like, done. Got
Now
it.
that's true. Name that tune right there.
There you go.
Right. They named
See,
that
I
tune
did
supposed to be
good.
like I can do it in 2 chords.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Here we go.
I got
You
mine.
just want to sing it? Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't do this part. That's the dude part.
I saw him on the interstate
Did you really?
in his the motorcycle with like the 2 wheels in the back. What is that? What are those things called?
Like the trike kind of type thing? Or
Yeah. Gosh, there's a name for them.
Don't ask me.
You're gonna do the Sheryl Crow part?
I will.
Okay.
I just don't. This is the dude part.
I know. What do they call those bikes? And he was riding with like his family. In Pennsylvania.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember where they where they were going, of course, but I remember thinking, where are they going?
Well, I mean, and it wasn't Michigan. I mean, because he's
Pennsylvania.
Detroit,
Yeah.
so
I'm gonna have to wait here. Now in the edit,
yeah,
I'll probably go right to you singing.
done.
We'll skip over the male part.
Hang on, I'm just gonna get a drink of water.
Here comes you.
No, he has to sing it again. I've told you, I know this song like the back of my hand.
Really?
Yes. Watch. See? Told you.
Okay, we'll skip ahead.
Now it's gonna come up in a minute.
Oh,
See?
okay.
Told you. This is me and Michael that we used to do this song karaoke every Wednesday night while pool was going on during yeah. So here, okay, you ready?
Here we go.
Okay. I called you last night at the hotel. Everyone knows, but they won't tell. But their half-hearted smiles tell me something just ain't right. There you go.
It's awesome.
No shame in this game, I'm gonna tell
And I
you.
left the perfect camera angle to catch that.
But see, I was professional. I backed away from the microphone and everything. So my dad taught me that one. Just want to throw that out there. So,
Well, Sam, I am. It's been awesome having you.
thank you so much for letting me be here and talk about myself for 2 hours.
Actually, I forgot to mention this little thing right here.
Yes.
This is from my daughter.
So cool.
This is actually one of those gifts where she's a good gift giver.
Yeah.
She's 21.
Yeah.
I would say my younger sister, Ashley, is also a good gift giver.
Okay.
where sometimes it just makes me feel bad when like I just get a gift card for someone. I don't really put a lot of thought into it, but somehow she thought of this, and I could put my headphones.
That's very awesome.
And I rest them there, and then my phone.
Got
I'm
your
gonna have to get used to using it.
Yeah. But it's very clever, and it's something that you can use.
Yeah.
And it fits right your personality.
And it's got these pencils.
Yeah.
That's
prepared.
Yeah.
But never feel bad about giving someone a gift card. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
People are hard to shop for.
That's true.
And especially if you get someone who has everything or they just buy throughout the year.
Well, I mean,
bad.
let me caveat that by saying, like, if you know someone really well,
Okay.
then
You should get them something.
And some people are my. Did you say you spent time in Reading, Pennsylvania?
Nope.
That wasn't you. Okay.
That wasn't me.
Reading, Pennsylvania is known for like their outlets.
Oh, okay. Do
but-
they have a Michael Kors? I was just wondering.
I don't
Inquiring
know.
minds
But
need to
they have
know.
Orvis, Columbia. My mom and my aunt would go up there a lot, but that's kind of like they would think way ahead.
Oh.
Like they'd buy something in February for you, and give you a Christmas
For
just because it was
Christmas.
on sale
That's
or something you
smart.
were into. But some people are just kind of good at like no matter what month it is.
Yeah.
If they see something, I'm going to get that as a gift because that's the perfect gift for whomever. Can also just do like that.
That's very good. That's very clever.
So
That's really nice.
so shout out to my daughter.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Any final thoughts or shout outs from you?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Who can I embarrass the most?
You can look right in the camera too and tell them.
There's so many people on my mind right now. But I've talked about a bunch. But I will tell you this: like I will say this: I have got a great core group of friends that are very supportive, and there's just some days I wouldn't have been able to make it, just before job and stuff like that. So my core group, man, I'm really appreciative of them. So I got the best friend, Beth. And then, but I've got a fantastic pool team who is they're just great. And that's my Wednesday night team that I joined out of Bumpers. So that's my brother's team. So I just, and of course, my hubs.
Yeah.
And then my kiddo, Logan. So that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, she is Sam I Am from 104.3 ZYP and Nash Icon, 93.3.
You did good. Look at you.
Finally took me.
Overachiever.
From what? Mojo starts at 5 to 10?
Yeah, Mojo Radio Show starts 5 to 10, Monday through Friday.
But then you bounce out at 9 to go do your other show.
I do my thing on Nash Icon, 93.3 Nash Icon, middays until 2. And then I also host the Sunday Sass with Sam I Am on Sundays from 12 to 6. And then whatever else they need me to do. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for still coming in to talk with me today, getting up at 4 o'clock.
Jeez.
And you'll still have to get up at 4 tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah. Bedtime soon. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I wish I was, but no, I'm not. No, I want to tell you, thank you so much for asking me to be this. It's just been fantastic and love the opportunity and just to,
Yeah, I appreciate
chat.
it. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
I can't, we'll talk again at some point.
Yes, I look forward to it.
And I look forward to seeing how you do on your number one, what you put down as your 2023 goals.
That's right.
And then how you are doing towards those.
I like that.
I've got
That's good.
one huge thing. I'm not yet ready. I'll tell you after the air.
Okay.
I'll probably announce it in February.
Ooh.
But I've got something big.
Do I have insider information?
No, well, I'll tell you afterwards.
I know.
Yeah, but yes, you will have insider
I'm
information.
excited.
So-
I love having news that no one else knows.
All right, all the best to you.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.